Does anybody have any questions before we get started?
No, I think we should be good. Everyone's fed. Everyone's
Mm-hmm. Just gonna
good to
count
go.
for
We
your
just
gold
need...
between sessions. If
Yeah,
there
that's
are
pretty much it.
no other concerns, I'll get us started.
Oh, wait, hold on. Join chat. Stream. Okay, I'm ready.
Having gathered your party and supplies, you set out from Grakostu atop your steeders. As the city fades into the smog behind you, you caught a final glance of Thundershot, the wormsmith of Grakostu. Circling above and igniting the lighthouse's brazier with his breath, he perched atop the lighthouse, watching as your group ventured into the Underdark like ants marching into the unknown. Ilse's map, combined with dwarven runes along the stone walls and stalagmites, guided you along the ancient subterranean trade routes. The path took you through West Fisher, a volcanic area where rivers of magma cast an eerie red glow across the jagged crystal columns and pools of sulfuric acid. Ruins of a once thriving settlement destroyed by volcanic activity lay scattered along your path. Evidence of past mining operations hinted at hasty abandonment. As days came to pass, you traversed the silken paths, your spider mounts leaping from webbed roadway above chasms. At camp, some of you, the more perceptive among you during watch, noticed a dragon's eyes that seemed to watch you from the flickering flames. Along the way, you encountered escaped slaves from Mensa Berenson and scouts from Grim, providing safety number for time, as well as some much-needed supplies. As you neared your destination, Stool and Rumpadump, the Myconid companions in your group, grew excited to return home to Neverlight Grove. Stool guided you, speaking of its colony's wise sovereigns, mentioning in particular one named Basidia. It also spoke of the melting, a mystical sense of community among the Myconids. Meanwhile, Rumpadump expressed quiet concern about potential corruption in its home. Those among you who wished, you took time to do some downtime activities. I know Isabel crafted half a dozen healing potions from whatever regions she managed to scrounge up back from Grakostuch, and I know that Gizmo Gichetoni explored the Eldritch Tablet's secrets once more and got a glimpse of Graven Hollow, the visions that lay there, and whatever awaits him, whatever questions he has in his mind, whatever answers he seeks, still lingering. We pick up from the last leg of our journey. Finally, after days of travel, you reach the entrance of a narrow tunnel. Stool assures you Neverlight Grove lies just past this passage. With your travel companions settled down for a short rest after a long journey. What would you like to do? Take it away, guys. It's a little bit of campfire time before you guys just let me know, and each of you guys presses that long rest button, and I'll just carry forth to the end of day.
Eric, did you have anything you wanted to do with the elves?
I talked to them in the RP chat, got to know them a little bit, and they mentioned a vault that I think it would be a good idea for us to go and find this vault, maybe after Neverlight.
It can't be bad finding some extra treasure. Be nice to find along the way, but only can carry as much as we can take with us on our little steeders here. But you seem to be pretty enthralled with it, Gizmo.
Enthralled with the tablet? Or the map? A little of both. I dare say. my dreams of the library. I've been doing a little bit of research with the Eldritch tablet, and I do think it will be an important stop on our journey if it's perhaps not too inconvenient. I'm still thinking on it, though. This vault also sounds interesting. Always up for an adventure.
Be new adventures, new discoveries. Who knows what you might find?
Well, the important thing more so is what we'll find in there.
But for now, it looks like our friends have arrived home, safe and sound, just like you guys have promised to them.
Who arrived home?
What'd you say, Eric?
Who out of character? Who arrived home? Who's he talking about?
The Myconoids.
Must-
Stool and
Michael
Rumpedum.
Rumpadum.
We have arrived at their home. Yes.
So what? We just drop them off and that's it?
Nah, we should look around, see if we can figure anything out about that lady that seems to be corrupting their minds.
That's alright, so be it. Just more time down here is all.
I'm a little bit concerned about the Myconoids that we passed several days back. They looked different from Rumpadump and Stool. They seem to be, I don't know, almost like zombies.
Those, says Rumpadump, they're not myconoids. They're spore servants, a part of the circle. The dead risen back to a new purpose. We give them life for a time to serve the greater circles before returning them to the earth. This process and effect is something that cannot be understood without having experienced our melding. I look forward to showing you our ways. Different from yours, and it might be intimidating, but you'll see the true connection with nature. It's something precious to behold. I only pray that we kept the purities of it all, and that none of those strange, bizarre spores I saw in my friends have made it home.
What exactly is this melding you speak of? You gonna go into my mind, put your little spores in there? I don't think so, mate.
No, nothing so pervasive. It is more a sharing of minds than an intrusion of it. But the beauty of it cannot be understood either until you hollow yourself to be filled with feelings anew. And when you see the beauty in such desolation, it changes something inside you. For desolation tries to colonize you if you let it. And from that blooms something new. Shared knowledge. The knowledge of the colony. We know you want answers. Some questions will ruin you if you are denied the answer long enough. But soon, answers will come.
Well, I hope that your colony is safe and undisturbed, but I've seen the way that you guys can travel through the mushrooms down here, and I worry that whatever is affecting them probably spreads much faster than any way we could possibly hope to prevent it.
Oh, you mean the lady's gift? pipes up Elara, the moon elf, sister of the siblings. We have encountered a group of myconoids not too long after we have escaped. They have bestowed their knowledge upon us. A small gift. It is how we traverse this far distance all the while. Quite a useful little power.
What is her
What?
gift?
I'll
If
show
you know
you.
where you're going.
She walks to a nearby patch of mushrooms and extends out her hand, and you see the fungi blossom in her black presence, sort of almost like extend toward her, reaching toward her hand. And as soon as she touches those mushrooms, in a blur, she sinks into the patch, only to reappear with a blink of an eye, maybe like 20 feet on the other side of the chamber where you guys are camping. Sort of morphing out of the wall, like that scene out of Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, like part of crew part of a ship, just melding out.
Well, what are we doing with this then? Why don't we just take a gift and just go to the top then? What's wrong? Why are we doing all the hard way?
She shrugs.
I didn't know that was the lady's gift. Eric looks over to the myconoid and says, I was under the impression that was a unique ability of your race.
A unique ability of the race that was offered to you by that myconoid that you spoke to?
I was under the impression that traveling through mushrooms was a unique ability of their race. I didn't know what was being offered.
That is what is called walking the lady's dream.
So are you two not able to travel through mushrooms?
Stool and Rumpadump shake their heads. If you recall your encounter with those strange myconoids who offered a gift, Rumpadump was not vibing with their dance, with their strange behavior. It felt wrong to him. And Stool, I mean, Stool has been with you guys. I mean,
Right.
ever since the jail.
This gift, if this gift is not something that all of your kind can do, how is it that some of you have it?
They shrug, for they have been traveling with your group all this while, away from Neverlight Grove, and are not too sure what exactly is happening. These new gifts manifesting this lady. To an introvert fungaloid such as Rumpadump, this is all too strange and bizarre for him to accept blindly. And for Stool, well, he is the equivalent of a 5-year-old boy, curious about the world, but has been away from home for so long. Unfortunately, they do not have the answers you seek. Not yet.
Oh, so this is a strange and new to you as well, then.
They would express that most myconoids recognize their sovereign spores and spores of other myconoids. It's how they communicate, sort of how they meld. They simply do not recognize the source of these spores. It's not of their home.
I see. Well, perhaps some of the answers that we seek are also answers that you seek, and perhaps they lie within the grove.
Stool hops up and down, very excited to go back home. And you're so close
If
too.
I had to place a bet, hear me out. Demons.
Elara
I'm
and
gonna put my
Aranis lose a
money
little
down
bit of
on
color
that.
from their face at that.
Pretty
Yes,
much the only
well,
thing
it
that I
seems to
could
be-
think of.
Yes, well, it seems to be the case that every problem down here has been related to demons recently.
That's terrible. I've been under the impression this was a gift from the sovereigns. A powerful gesture of friendship for our time spent with them. And now you speak such terrible things. We had no clue of this, no hint at it. They look down, their hands pale.
Eric just shrugs and says it could still be. We don't know. We only have the opinion of one myconoid saying he doesn't like it.
An opinion of another Dweger, shaking the morale of the party, as Elara and Aranis will remember this. Well, with such a revelation on the table of Elara and Aranis having accepted the ways of walking the lady's dream, does anybody wish to do anything else in camp while you have the time before we call it a long rest? Although, also, Ivan, I haven't heard from you, so you might be muted. Just saying. Yeah,
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Just, the week has been long. That's it.
No, all right, man. You okay to play?
I'm good to play. Just
That's good.
my mind is a little bit. It's taking a time to settle in the game, but I'm good to play.
Okay, hold on. So yeah, as I was saying, any of you guys want to do anything while you're long resting?
I was gonna ask the party, the two previous members, from what they saw at the Kuatoa village, but said there was some drow looking for them, but we haven't seen them in 12 days on this road. So what of all that? Not chasing you anymore. Not good. Seemed like she had a real something for you.
If you ask me, I think the king is playing a part on that.
Hard to say. Could be that they are still chasing us and our spider mounts have just been helping us to keep ahead of them. Could be that they stopped. Could be that they are in the process of dealing with their own emergency, their own problems at the moment.
It is only natural, says one of the myconoids, to feel lost in the dark, for you have only so many eyes. But in the eyes of the colony, with our scouts and our senses, we know all about the grove and its surroundings. I think it would be wise to ask sovereigns if they have seen any drow throughout, so that we know that the way ahead is safe for you to continue your journey once we split ways. Basidia is wise, and her scouts range for distance out. They might know more than we.
These sovereigns, they live with you here in the grove, yes?
Two reign the grove, Basidia and Philo.
Ah, I see.
A diarchy formed by a bonded alliance of two colonies coming together, one aiding the other in time of need.
You could hope all that. Maybe hoping that, maybe some of those demons ate them all along the way. I can only hope for that. I would actually better hope that a giant pit just swallows up their home city of Menzoberranzan. That'd be great. Take them first. Maybe they're dealing with their own incursions.
They were.
Fuck them then.
The day that we made our escape, there were demons attacking the dry lands. That was a big part of the reason why we were able to make our escape.
Fuck them. They got what's coming to them.
Mm-hmm.
If they were being attacked, then it would make it unlikely that they were the ones inviting the demons in, or conspiring to set the demons upon Gracklestug, as was the king's assumption, yes?
I don't know about that, Goncho, says Jimjar real quick. The demons don't quite follow that sort of logic, being chaotic and all that. I think whoever summoned them made a big old mistake, or has bigger machinations, but demons feast and all, their mouths are just that big. That's all Jimjar says for now.
Aye, that one's right.
Well, I guess it would be unwise to trust the word of a demon anyway. But, yes, the fact that the drow are also under attack does put a different spin on things.
Not necessarily. It is entirely possible that the Drow are responsible for the demon incursion or simply reaping what they sow.
Jim's just finishing up a bite of some mushroom or another, whatever rations you guys have with him. And with the mouth half full, just says, Drow, they worship demons, don't they? Loth and all that?
One demon. But yes.
Yeah, some fucking spider queen or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know much about it. Don't really care. Better off dead anyway. No one likes them. They're a plague. You know, had we actually had more time and more forces, we would have wiped out Menzo Bears and all them years ago. Shame.
Would you know?
You ask any Dwegar that, they would have wiped that place clean.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it just didn't go the way as planned. Just means we need to work harder.
I don't know if genocide is the way I'd go, friend, says Jimjar. There are people, after all. You call them a plague. I don't know. I met a few good drow in my days, a few good pals in my wagering days who owe me a coin or I owe them one. They're not all that bad. Loth priests, that's a different matter. Soldiers of the melee and of their army, that's one thing, but to wipe out entire people, that's cold even for me.
Aye, I'm just saying, wipe that city out. There's nothing good's coming from that place. Maybe you knew one or two. Never met one myself. Nah.
Ever heard of a guy named Trist?
Never heard of him.
Maybe you'll have the pleasure of meeting him one day and it'll change your mind of what Menzo Berensen can spit out from time to time, to rare exception. I only had one lucky glimpse of the guy. Dude's a legend. And he's not the only one. He just kind of so stares into the fire with that. People vary. Some have saved the world. With that quiet thought of contemplation, as the evening stretches on, you guys wish to commit to the long rest or anything else?
I would commit to the long rest, for I am tired.
Sounds good. Come waking, you guys all benefit from your long rest. Do you wish to continue on toward the entrance of the tunnel and follow in the steps of your myconoid companions as they lead you to Neverlight Grove? I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
As you
Yeah, we'll follow them.
step through a natural tunnel, the oppressive gloom of the Underdark is left behind. Before you, the cavern opens into an otherworldly panorama. A vast forest of towering mushrooms, their stalks and caps glowing with a soft bioluminescent hues that pulse with mesmerizing patterns. The air is rich with the scent of damp earth and fungal life, and a rising mist hangs lazily in the distance, obscuring the far reaches of the grove. Even the ceiling above you is covered in a blanket of vibrant fungi, bathing the cavern in a warm, dreamlike glow as I load us onto Nevergrove. Neverlight. Nevergrove. It's gonna be the shorthand. So we have Eric. Bajarak. Your spider companions are with you. I'm just gonna put you guys down here. You know what? That's fine. Isabel, and then Gizmo. Obviously, Clank, your spiders, and everybody is with you guys, but for the sake of this, I'll just have you guys be grouped up. Just the four of you on a map. A quick moment to continue narration. Thank you. Update default token. There we go. You are bathed in a warm, dreamlike glow. The surreal beauty of the place contrasts sharply with the horrors you've faced so far. For a moment, it feels as though you've entered a hidden, enchanted sanctuary far removed from the dangers of the Underdark. But as you take in this breathtaking sight, a gentle whisper stirs in your minds, a soft, susurrating murmur carried on the air as though the very spores around you are reaching out. You hear a voice on the wind, the voice of many speaking as one. The day of joy is nigh. It's nigh. The day of joy is nigh, whispered the voices. The whispers are not threatening, but oddly comforting, welcoming, their tone one of excitement, anticipation. Rejoice! The true union approaches soon. We shall all meld as one. The voices seem to ripple through your thoughts in waves, as if hundreds of unseen beings are speaking in unison, their excitement palpable. Ahead, through the bioluminescent forest, you can just make out the faint outline of a majestic mushroom towering, rising in the distance, partially obscured by the mist, but humongous nonetheless. The forest around you is alive with a gentle movement. The migrant folk going about their tasks, tending to fungi, harvesting crops, and working in silent harmony, unaware or otherwise unconcerned by your presence. There's an energy in the air, as if something wondrous is about to unfold. The whispers return, as soft as before, but even more jubilant. Rejoice! The true union will soon be complete. The day of joy awaits. What do you
do? Stool, do you know what is this day of joy?
Stool can tell that the voices are of his people and can feel their excitement and emotion, same as you, but only has now just returned home. Perhaps you should speak to people who have spent time here. As Stool and Rumpadum frolic through the fungi ahead of you guys, now that you're here, they don't need to be your guides anymore, just sort of take their time to really take in the awe of home and begin receiving answers and melding with. This will take time as they synergize with sort of their home. And all the while, you feel their joy and the joy of the people. Day of union.
Well, whatever this is, seem pretty excited about it. Can't say the same, but whatever it might be.
Somebody turned off the good mood resonator, huh?
I was just gonna ask about the resonator. But yeah, Gizmo's simply gonna say, I assume that you're all hearing this or feeling this as well, these words. There is a very much excitement.
This is... Eric looks at Isabel and says, this is similar to the mechanoids that we found in the cave. They just seemed overly happy and joyous.
Overly? People are not allowed to be happy.
In the Underdark? What's there to be happy about down
You
here?
left the Underdark behind, friend.
Yeah, but are these ones saying the same as like what the other ones had? Like, do they seem a little bit off or anything? And then like as like a couple spores kind of like float around his head, he just like blows. He's just like just waves them around. He's like, I don't want that.
Seven dwarves. You're just like people being happy, gross. Like,
yeah. But freedom? You guys have freedom? Nah.
As Eric leads the party into these fungal wilds, you are immediately struck by the density of the mushroom forest. Pale cream and beige stalks towering above, their thick stems crowding together like the trees of some alien woodland. These fungal giants, the Zerkwood, mushrooms form a living palisade around the grove, their enormous caps blotting out your view of the cavern ceiling. Though you cannot see the top, a soft ethereal light shimmering from above, where illuminescent fungi cling to unseen stone, casts a faint green glow over the forest floor. Mushroom grow in profusion, spilling across the ground in clusters of all shapes and sizes. Some puff as you pass, releasing faint clouds of spores that twinkle in the glowing light, much to Bajarak's annoyance, while others stand firm, their leathery skin slick with moisture. Every step you take on the soggy ground releases a faint, unpleasant odor of decay that you have to get used to, as if the earth beneath your feet is slowly rotting away. Here and there you can see, like, corpses, not humanoid, but like that of like different like fauna of the Underdark, sort of in late stages of decay, overgrown with moss and lichen, bones exposed and yellowed and sunken into the earth, just returning to nature, part of a circle. The sound of distant wildlife can be heard echoing throughout the fungal wildlands, these weird chirping sounds of alien creatures that you have not encountered on the surface, almost bat-like in their screeches, but more oscillated. Wild beasts of the Underdark move unseen, their movement masked by the rustle of stalk and the subtle dripping of water from the mushroom caps, yet there's no sign of hostility. This place feels like a living ecosystem where everything has its place, its purpose.
Is this like a lake in the middle of the area? Or...
Yes, green water, slightly murky, but you can definitely see the bottom, the glowing roots of undergrowth beneath. Two bodies of water, one larger blocking your way with a little path going like sort of east and southward, and a more central basin toward us, with the water shimmering with a glow coming, sort of reflecting off the ceiling.
Eric is being careful to avoid stepping on corpses and other various things as he makes his way this way. And he's like grumbling under his breath. He's like, there's not a single clean place in the Underdark. As he makes his way towards the myconoids and the other descendants of Neverlight.
A faint clearing appears ahead of Eric, surrounded by towering mushrooms and slick, moss-covered stone. At the center of this space rises a circular mound, draped in patches of glowing fungi, almost like a mushroom ring. A cluster of spore servants, reanimated creatures, their bodies now little more than puppets for the myconoids, shuffle nearby, directed by unseen hands. You see these towering Zerkwoods, their caps wide as dinner plates, stand sentinel at the edge of this territory, their broad stalks swaying gently, almost bending to bow and look down at you as you pass. From the shadows of the fungal forest emerges a tall, lean myconoid, its pale form marked with the same soft luminescence that clings to the grove. The air grows thick with the spores it releases as soon as it approaches, and soon, in a gentle sort of telepathic hum, Eric first and the rest of the group hear a voice of an entity that innately introduces itself as Lubamoob, the leader of the Circle of Hunters. Outsiders, you walk through the wilds, the realm of the hunters. Fear not, we do not kill. We follow the dead, the fallen, and those whose life has left them. We gather what remains to be renewed. Its hollow gaze falls briefly on the spore servants nearby, guiding them away with a subtle gesture as it continues. The Circle of Hunters returns these to the Sovereigns, where they are reanimated for a time, given new purpose, until the decay claims them once more. There is no pride in Lubamoob's voice, only duty, as it watches over the Sand servants under its care. You also notice there are other myconoids within the circle that look to this entity, Lubamoob, with a quiet deference, their motion smooth in harmony with the leader's quiet wariness, and they seem less rapturous than those you've seen as you've approached this grove. More calm.
How fascinating. You call yourselves the Circle of Hunters, but you don't actually kill any of these creatures, you just scavenge what is left over of other hunts.
You get an affirmative feeling.
Well, I should say that we're looking, to place two of your kind back with you, I guess. These two little ones here. Guess they're from here. Perhaps you recognize them.
Of course. We welcome you back to the circle. You feel gratefulness, a sense of calm. Cautious as they are at outsiders, they're welcoming nonetheless, these non-violent creatures.
No, we're not looking to start any trouble or anything. You just simply need to get back in the old path, they say. Maybe a night's rest, if you don't mind, but...
That is the least we can do to thank you. In fact, you see, Luamoob has a flicker of something like hope pass through the telepathic link. Your timing is fortunate. There is more you can do during your stay if you're willing. There are intruders in our wilds, creatures not of this place, upsetting the balance. They exhaust the life from the soil, consume what should be returned in due course. It gestures toward the mouth of a small cavern nearby. A Grick has taken to nesting near the grove's edge. Its hunger grew unchecked. Fortunately, its life has come to an end. We had nearly completed a recovery when one of my hunters had tracked it down. It went to retrieve the Grick's body for reanimation when something attacked. You can see the Micron's pale stalks quiver as the memory of the encounter passes through its mind. A shambling mound. A creature formed from the rot and decay of the Underdark itself assailed us. It drained the soil, uprooting the life we cultivate. We were forced to retreat, leaving the Grick's body behind. Now, that abomination festers near the carcass, corrupting the ground it stands on, robbing the colony of precious nutrients. The hunters cannot approach while the mound lingers. If you can destroy it, we can complete our task and bring the Grick's remains to Basidia. Your aid would restore the grove's balance. Will you remove this threat?
Refresh my memory, mate. Grick. Hey, it's not ringing a bell. I can't place a face to it. Can you describe it?
You get an image in your mind of a long, slender, almost snake-like creature, but instead of a head, it ends with its worm-like head splitting into 4 sections, 4 beaks, with like a writhing tongue at the end. A predator and an ambusher of the Underdark and other shadowy places. Now dead.
If the Grick is dead, it's the shambling mound that we have to be concerned with. Is there a check I can do to see what I know of this creature called a shambling mound?
Well, you can ask me a question first, and I'll see if I can answer it. Because you might not even need to rule a check. It's a pretty common creature if you're...
I was just going to say, has Gizmo ever encountered one, or does he know what a shambling mound is?
Yeah, ask me a question. What are you trying to find out about this creature? I would imagine your knowledge of plants and plant creatures would certainly give you, if not advantage, then outright success.
Okay, yes, I'm trying to recall what I can about shambling mounds, their habits, their dangers, like what kind of foe we might be facing.
from what you can recall, bare bones without asking me anything specific, a shambling mound, sometimes called a shambler for simplicity, is a creature that trudges ponderously through like bleak swamps on the surface, dismal marshes, rainforests and such, consuming any organic matter in its path. The rotting heap of animated vegetation looms about maybe half again as tall as humans, so 5 times your height, tapering into like a faceless head at its top. It's an all-consuming devourer. A shambling mound like feeds on any organic matter, just tirelessly consuming plants as it moves and devours animals that can't escape it. Only the shambling mound's plodding speed really prevents it from overwhelming entire ecosystems. But this one that is being spoken about seems to have grown to an immense size to the point that it's actually sapping the ground itself at this point. Even so, their presence leaches natural environmental resources, as I said, like plants or and just unsettling the quiet that pervades the swamp and wooded areas with its ever hungry horror. They are composed of like decaying leaves and vines and roots and other natural swamp and forest compost, and they can like often are found like blended into their environments, and because they move slowly and sort of lie in ambush, it is often you encounter them when you're already half stepped into them, essentially. They are. Your study of plant life would give you a little bit of more esoteric, exotic knowledge. They're spawns of lightning. A shambling mound results from a phenomenon in which lightning, or like otherwise magic, like phasers, invigorates an otherwise ordinary swamp plant, and as the plant is reborn into its second life, it sort of chokes life from plants and animals around it, mulching their corpses in a heap around its roots, and these roots eventually give up their reliance on the soil to sort of to direct the shambling mound to seek out new sources of food, giving it the ability to walk about. Trying to think of anything else you might want. Roll me a nature check. I'm gonna give you this last factoid to you if you roll me the 20 or higher.
And I have a +7 on nature, so let's go. Oh, nope.
Okay. You have definitely encountered these creatures. They're pretty common, and you've probably either fought one or avoided one along with fellow explorers or what have you. But it's not like you're growing one in your backyard and studying it, so unfortunately the last tidbit of information here is I'm going to keep hidden for now.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you. Gizmo will share with his companions what little bit maybe that was extra there. We know this is a creature of vegetation. It is large, and it is slow, and it is dangerous. It is something that perhaps we could do for a favor to get rid of this creature for them.
Yeah, sure, why
Perhaps.
Nothing is done for free,
said
even
that-
among the Myconoids. Just so you're aware, for your help and aid, the Myconoids will pay you in kind. Basilia is known to be a master alchemist, brewing all sorts of potions and brews from the nearby fungi. Should you bring her this Greek's body, and whatever you can recover from the Shambler perhaps too, you are to be expected to be thanked in return.
I mean, why wouldn't we? We're gonna need all the help we can get getting out of this place. I'd rather have a little bit of help with this and get something in return in the long run, I'm saying.
Yes. I am curious. You mentioned that this shambler was. You said that it was ruining your the land,
Yes.
corrupting the land. How so?
Seeping the nutrients out of it, like a weed.
Interesting. How do you From what I understand, it's a plant creature. How do you determine the difference between creatures that are part of the cycle of life versus creatures that are more so like weeds?
If it exhibits parasitic behaviors, such as taking more than giving, then it is disrupting the balance. If it remains in the grove, it would eventually choke it up to feed itself, and, just like a virus, eventually will kill the host. Once the host dead, it's probably gonna move on or die itself. Either way, the grove would benefit from this creature being put down.
Okay. Yes, we can deal with your shambler.
Sounds like an invasive species.
Have you-
Sort of like cleaning a garden.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask too. Noticed any other things looking about, maybe on the edges of your colony here? Drow, shadowy, dark figures. Anything else?
We did have a drow visit the grove recently. They have seen to speak to the sovereigns. I believe Philo and Basidia have spoken to them, shown them around. But they would know more than I. We each have a part to play. The Circle of Hunters. We scour the land for corpses. But the sovereigns know all, connected to everything.
Oh, well, you missed a perfectly good corpse there. You know what they were wandering around for?
Did you say you missed an opportunity for a good corpse?
Yeah.
We would not harm them, same as we would not harm you.
Ugh.
Mike gonna say yes to world peace. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I know. I just haven't prejudice come out.
Okay.
He's just replaying this character. Yeah.
Well, perhaps we will get the opportunity to speak with the sovereigns once we have defeated this shambler creature. Yes, maybe.
Seek out Philo and Basidia over there, and extends a long series of claw-like talons of its hand toward the north, toward what looks to be like an inner circle of some sorts by the central basin.
Well, I personally like to know what the drow was doing all the way over here. He's putting like beef jerky and like a ration into his mouth.
It is their home as much as it is ours.
Perhaps they were in pursuit of our new elven friends.
Aye. And we like our new elven friends. So therefore, we don't like them.
Or perhaps they were in pursuit of us.
Oh, then they'll get what's coming to them, eh?
We would ask that you keep the peace during your stay. Should you disturb the harmony, we would have no choice but to expel you. It says so with not much emotion, not threatening, but just as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm. We have no issue. We have no intention to bring any harm.
Look at this big party.
Aye. Catch me outside, how about that?
Says the mushroom.
Oh, good. Not fun. We can get acquainted. You chums need anything else?
Are you asking the Circle of
Love,
Hunters?
Have you been visited recently by a lady?
Oh yeah, this lady. Describe her.
Well, does he know her?
What is a lady? You feel puzzlement at the word, a concept so foreign to the species that does not know the concept of gender.
Your circle seems to be rejoicing about our union. Can you explain us what it means?
Some among our number have been growing fervent with a certain emotion. One could call it joy. I call it silliness. The way they move and dance about, it is not of our old ways. I am with Basidia on this one. We ought to distance ourselves from them. Doesn't seem to be vibing with the same sort of jubilant, celebratory tone you've been hearing from the northern part of the this grove. Sort of as you began walking down more toward the south and such, you begin to distance yourselves away from those spores and feel more what these myconoids are feeling here. Just more like a sense of serenity and calm, and none of that jubilant, fervent joy. I may not have all the answers. Speak to Philo and Basidia, for they know all, connected to all.
Alright, Mario, you got it. You can do that.
Okay.
So we try to take care of the mound and bring it to the sovereigns.
Sure.
And the,
I mean, we'll get there in due time. Just poke around a little bit.
Where would you like to head?
okay.
We can take care of the shambling mound for them, and then, while we're catching our breath, patching our wounds, talk to more of the myconoids around here.
I mean, you just want to go head first into it.
Eric sort of shrugs and says, "It's a plant. It eats living things."
And it is a slow-moving one that sometimes
You want to prepare some
blends-
alchemist fire?
sometimes blends in.
Mate, you read in my mind. We got some of the brightest minds here that can conjure up a little bit of fire. Plants don't like fire. They just fucking burn them out. I'll tell you what, who's really good with fire, the Zerorn and Gracklestuk. Wipe that thing clean. Never knew it existed. Unfortunately, I ain't got one of them lances. You
Yeah,
should have
it
got
is
yourself
also-
one.
Oh, I could nick this, and Jim Jar just sort of unpockets from the side of his vest like one of those like grackle gas canisters and just puts it back.
You sneaky little bugger, you should steal from us.
Well, I bought it.
Show me the receipt. Where's your receipt?
Your people don't do receipts.
Nah. Them are lies. Alright.
We need to be careful if we're going to do something with a fire. We don't want to destroy the ecology that we are supposed to be saving. I'm not saying we shouldn't use fire, I'm just saying we need to be cautious. We don't wish to destroy the grove and make enemies rather than friends.
Babagool's eyes go askew as he imagines the entire grove burning up.
The plant is also a creature of the Underdark. In my experience, most things that naturally live around here are sensitive to sunlight. And he holds up the handle of Dawnbreaker, who is turned off right now, and says, "I'm sure she will be adequate protection."
Alright, but we don't know that for true. Never act on certainties like that. Or uncertainties, sorry.
Hmm.
Spores are getting to me. I think there's one's in my eye.
Roll some
Hey,
hit
listen,
die.
The air around here, it is a little...
Yeah, he's just like looking around. He's just like on his clothes and some other stuff. It's like just like a very thin layer of like settling spores and all this stuff. He's like just wiping it off all the time, like patting down his like shirt that's like torn and everything.
Out of character.
Shaking.
This gotta be like the worst place for a character with allergies. It's gotta be.
Yeah, roll an allergy
Sneezing all
table.
the time. Roll an allergy check.
You're permanently blinded. You have red eye and you can't see your target. Listen, you want to head first into it, so be it. Or play a little bit smarter, see what's around, see what we need to get into, see who else is mucking about. I don't know.
Gizmo is going to rest his hand on Baz's shoulder and say, "My friend, don't you have the capacity to become invisible? Perhaps you might reconnoiter for us?"
Well, for a short bit, I can. What was the last part you wanted me to do?
The scout, check it out. I said reconnoiter. Yes.
Using some fancy words there, mate. Yeah, I go ahead. It's fine, dude, all the time. But that's the thing. I don't know what to look for. If it's a master of camouflage, be hard to see.
It is a large, viney, vegetative creature. It could blend in quite easily with its surroundings.
I'll do what I can. But here's the thing. I want to have backup plans. I want to play it smart this time. I don't know this area. Back in Gracklstook, I know that place like the back of my hand. I know the outskirts. I know what is around every fucking rock that's there. This, I don't know. And I'm not about to just... Go ahead, mate. You got something to say, mate.
What if we borrowed a corpse from the Circle of Hunters? Use it as bait. Apparently it eats them.
It'd be a slow wait. Maybe it'd make its way over, but yeah, we could find something. Set up a little bit of ambush of our own.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we gonna do in that ambush? You got a dead body, a carcass. Now what? It's there. If you two mates can work up some fire, I got a little bit myself, don't worry. Nothing likes fire.
We can light them up with a fairy fire once we identify where the creature is.
I have some chemical fire, if that's what you're looking for, and I hand it to you. That's...
I do also have Alchemist Fire.
As you pass around ornaments, prepare yourselves, making a plan that's definitely going to fail because somebody's going to roll 9. You have one last question to ask. Do you take any of your companions with you, or do you have them stay?
Labagul would probably be a big help fighting against a plant that likes to eat.
Yeah, it will.
They probably would not even want to eat them. We should have our elves stay in the safety of the grove. They've been through a lot.
Yeah, it seems that way. Found them just all dingy on the road. Take a rest.
I don't think we have
You're
to
dingy,
worry about
says
the rest.
Alara.
What?
Alara just shoots back a quip. You're dingy. And she
I was
Mhm.
Sorry, continue.
No, I was just going to describe Alara and her brother stepping through fungus, exploring around, getting to know some of the local circles and such. You can see them talking to another mushroom nearby, just sort of getting to know them. They'll chill.
See?
Yeah.
The elves, that's what they do. I don't know. They like that shit.
How was Sloop the Loop doing? Is he cognizant again, or is he still
I
in
haven't
the
been.
clouds?
I haven't been this peaceful in a long time. He seems to be fine. He's back to his usual health. The Black Skull twins did provide potions and elixirs to sort of help him on his recovery. And over the course of like 7 to 10 days, he has made a full recovery. And he's now just in his like zen. You look over and he has like arms folded before him, and he has like motes of light and stuff just sort of like spiraling around his body, and he's in the zone.
That's good. I think it would also be best if you stay with our elves.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you almost died the last time you came with us. But if you do want to join us,
I'll be of no help. Like I'm the fighter. I have my vows to keep.
and so then, Jimja, what are you thinking?
Hey, Jim, what are you thinking?
I was already in, like from the get go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Wouldn't be able to talk me out of it.
I see, there you go. Heart of steel right there. We don't need that itty bitty heart disease. He's got it all right there.
Bazarek, you want a vial of alchemist fire?
I got a little something in my pocket here.
In
Okay.
the pocket.
I have a potion of fire breath just in case.
Okay. You guys make your way into the mouth of the cave. I'll go ahead and put you guys through a little loading screen and onto the map as soon as I figure out. There we are. You good?
Mind flayers. I don't know what is this, but
Far from it. As you step into the Shambler's lair, the air grows thick with moisture, and the soft rush of nearby stream of water echoes off the damp stone walls. The floor beneath your feet is uneven and slick with moss, and the cavern is dimly lit by these clusters of glowing blue mushrooms that cling to the walls like pale stars in the gloom. Ahead, you catch sight of these strange, cute floating creatures drifting above the water. Small, head-sized masses of like tangled vines and phosphorescent fungi, each with these writhing tendrils that twitch and sway like octopus limbs as they sort of like hover maybe like 5-7 feet above the rock and the pools of water. A Grick's corpse can be seen. It lies smashed upon the rocks at the shore of this stream of water ahead. A soft sort of bubbles out from Atlas as he shields the party for 30 temporary HP, readying you guys for whatever lies ahead. For the sake of clarity, shores, which are like sort of like darker than grass, and water will be difficult terrain as you go throughout this place.
Okay.
Slick mud and water. What's the plan?
So the 13 is for everyone? Is everyone included in that?
I
Yes.
believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Does that everyone include Clank?
Is he a creature that can benefit from that? Then I believe so.
He is. I just didn't know what the maximum was. Okay.
Jimjar bends a knee, looking for tracks in the mud, seeing only remnants of these creatures you see ahead of you guys. These little tendrilled, floating creatures. Now and then they'll land on the sand and sort of form like sea star shapes on the mud. Some of them float about, and here and there you can see like little zaps of little green lightning beneath their tendrils as they conduct through the water. And
Are they giving off like a
Mhm.
like an oozy electrical like kind of thing, or is that just dramatic effect?
It's like electric crackles through the lightning whenever they hit
Okay.
the water. Yeah.
Hey, perhaps I could have sent Clank up to retrieve the Grick.
A good idea.
And, If that doesn't bring out this shambler, then we've already achieved half of the mission. Clank,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
go pick up the Grick.
Well, while he's doing that, can I try to locate the plant, like the chamble mount?
Roll me perception check. I suppose perception check will only be... Wow, Ginger, Jesus Christ. 7 stealth.
19.
19 perception check. You notice something bizarre. The I'm sorry, mumbling. See here, Ivan?
Mm-hmm.
The cavern is like unnervingly still beyond the gentle sound of a stream. The sound is heavy and oppressive, yet something feels off. The shadows beneath the water seem darker than they should be, as if concealing something lurking just out of sight.
As Clank moves forward to grab the Grick, I'm gonna hold an action to throw a vial of alchemist fire if Clank gets attacked.
Sure.
So Clank has 40 feet of movement. That is 25.
We're not in initiative, he has free movement. I'm just looking to see what people do and
Okay.
giving everybody like a turn to speak sort of thing, yeah.
Yep.
But good to know. He's a fast boy. I imagine him like as he's going down the hill, gain some speed, he like falls onto his side a little bit and like just barrel rolls literally because he's a little like casket. To what do you call those things from Star Wars? The roller robots? Those things.
car?
Yeah, you know what? To do that and like he stabilizes himself at the bottom near the creek. Cool. That's your construct doing that thing. Creeping closer. Do you guys stealth in? Do you guys... I know Eric is preparing a bottle on that. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth if I can. Try to hide between the mushrooms.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me stealth just for the sake of being hidden. Oop. You meld yourself into the rock. Ginger is doing his best. He's like trying to like commando like cover his face in mud and stuff, but it's just like it's bioluminescent mud, so he's just like making himself glow more. Bajarak, just waiting for anything from you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if everyone wants to, I mean, Eric, are you just standing out in the open, just getting ready?
He's in that bottle
Are
gate
you
thing
hiding?
where he's just like holding a bottle, waiting.
Yeah.
He'll sort of try to hide beside the mushroom patch as well
Sure.
while holding the vial.
All right. I'll shack up here with you if you don't mind.
The glowing vial just underlights his chin and face as he holds the liquid fire in his hand.
Woof.
Yeah, that tracks. You guys are holding like liquid fire in your hand, just underlits you. Also, you came through the one entrance. You were being seen by other creatures, so all a factor. Cool. So as you guys just sort of wait for Clank to approach close, Clank, he has vision, right? Like, I don't know how constructs work. As he approaches the Grick, it like smashed, like its beak indented in, the sections of its body just like flattened against the dirt and organs splayed out as if it was impacted by something large, almost like a tree trunk has landed upon it. You just want to say something?
No, it's just that he's going to approach and pick up the body if he can.
Yeah, Clank being has enough strength. He's a big old construct robot. Begins to sort of beneath the body with his hands and lift it up. You hear the faint sound of like dripping water echo through the chamber as tension is strung tight, but it's quickly drowned out by a low, crackling hum, like the distant rumble of a thunderstorm. The surface of the water pool ahead is disturbed by a faint ripple, and the ripple intensifies. From that point I pointed out, Ivan, there, from one of those points of depth, a dark, mass begins to rise, form indistinguishable at first, just a rotting heap of vine and a decaying vegetation. But then, with a sickening lurch, the creature pulls itself free from the muck and looms towering on all height. This is gonna be an initiative rule from you guys as I load up some music. Yeah. And you're presented with Shambler rising out of the muck.
Shit.
That thing's fucking
Looming with a towering height, its body is an ever-shifting tangle of roots and slime-coated debris dripping as it heaves upwards. Two glowing eyes flicker to life on what could only loosely be described as a head. Electricity crackles across its mossy, sludge-ridden surface, green lightning arcing from vine to vine, illuminating the beast's form in sudden flashes of eerie light. The shambling mound roars to life, a hulking, lumbering behemoth, now fully revealed. And it begins to move with a natural hunger, sort of pulling one of its arms back and growing a long, crackling lightning lash in its hand. And with a crackle and a snap, its massive vines whip out toward Clank, its wide eyes burning with like a predatory hunger. The creature isn't just made of this mire, it is the mire, animated by the raw power and driven by primal, insatiable desire to devour everything in its path, including poor old Clank. As we have our initiative ruled, I'll go ahead and do the same. Oh boy. Rolling initiative for Jimjar, rolling initiative for Globgool, and then sorting them, seeing if we have any clashes. 22, 19, no, 15, 8, 8. Jimjar is faster than the shambling. We're good. Alrighty then. So, top of initiative then, we have Isabel. As you see this lurching figure, you've been having your eyes upon it this entire time. You can see it's prepared to sort of lash one of its vines down in a wide arc to scrape the ceiling and crush upon Clank. What do you do?
I'll try to stop it by shooting at it before he does that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, what did... Okay.
The fiery bullet manifests in your gun and shoots out with a flare toward the creature for 23 strike, penetrating the center mass and igniting it. And you can see a tiny sizzle of gray smoke, as because it's drenched and wet, the fire damage does not take full effect. But nonetheless, it takes a total of 19 halved.
Yeah.
As it impacts, you see the smoke sort of emanate from it as it burns. Do you follow up with any other actions?
No, that's all.
Eric, to act.
I lost audio for about like 10 seconds as this thing was appearing. You said there was a vine that's stretching towards Clank?
It stretches back one of its arms that begins to elongate into this like crackling lightning vine tendril that it's gonna whip from the back to the front toward Clank, if you were to telegraph this using your combat knowledge.
Okay. Eric is gonna move to here and throw a vial of alchemist fire at the
Go for it.
shambling mound. Unfortunate. Miss.
It lands in the water and I'm gonna say it goes off for like within the water for half its damage, so go ahead and roll damage for it. Just so that it to mal effect. I'm gonna say like right before it's about to sink, it shatters against one of the like surface rocks, a little bit too far from target, but explodes nonetheless. For did you just roll 2 damage?
Yep.
Are you serious?
It's alchemist fire. It's 1d4.
Is it? I think it's like 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
I am almost certain it isn't.
The thing is, I know it burns forever, that's why. Yeah, it's 1d4.
Yeah. The thing is that it burns forever, and you have to like manually put it out.
Oh, okay. Let's say this rock, that's where it hit. Put a little fire token there. Sure. The rock at the surface around it ignites in a flame of color of your choice. Anything else in your turn?
He will bonus action enlarge. Use Giant's Might. That is his turn.
Alrighty then. With the nearby shambling.
Hold on
turns
one
to you.
sec.
Yeah.
I should be right after him.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I'm not on the initiative, but
Can-
he rolled a 21 and I also rolled a 21.
What would you like to do in your turn?
I'm gonna bonus action turn into a werewolf. Get ready. But before I do that, I want to take out a good old faithful that I have on me and take that revolver out. And I'm gonna shoot off the revolver of blasting. Right to the big old guy here. Let me change my color too. Yeah, that's a nice color. So 6 firebolts heading out. This is just at normal. I am a werewolf. Anything else? No. Okay. We have 1. Oh, that's a miss. 2.
Yeah,
20
roll
hits,
them and roll damage.
or
Anything that
5.
hits above natural
Okay.
armor class of 15 will hit mark. Fizzle toward the shambler.
Or
It's slow to move, still rising out of the water, still growing out more tendrils out of its back as you see more hands begin to come out. And as you take aim one by one, the bolts hit some recoil off more solid rocky parts of it. Others find place igniting vine below. So how many hit?
5 out of the
5.
6.
How much damage?
So 5, 9, 14. It's 22. It's 27 total.
Okay. And as you continue sailing this waterlogged creature with fire spells and abilities, you can see that fire does little effect, but still leaves singed marks upon its body.
A bugger's sopping wet. I ain't you two got, and he's talking to the two. I can never remember.
What's up?
Artificers.
Artificer. I can never remember the class name. Talking to the 2 artificers, like, "Aye, might you got something sparky or something? Shit's covered in water." And he just tucks his revolver, and after that, because he's feral form, we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go up here and see what I could do next turn to help Clank out.
As a tug of lightning once again reaches your ears there, Gizmo, I'll remind you of a fact you would know innately from studying plants as we move on to the next turn as the werewolf among us takes shape. One of the Neverlight shamblings floats ahead of Eric. Just opening up his sheet real quick. And we'll attempt to face hug him.
That's what these
Hey,
things are.
Bug.
18? Does-
18 hits.
18 hits. Latches on to Eric's face. Takes 6 bludgeoning damage as it begins to wrap its tendrils around your head and neck, and you get zapped for roll maximum damage for lightning. As it sort of attaches itself. If the cloaker, you didn't see that. I'm not recycling abilities from other creatures. You are. Cool. You are not suffering the effects of blindness of just flavoring this attack, but it doesn't get a good grip on you because it didn't land a critical hit yet, or an advantageous hit, so to speak. So you're not suffering the other effects, but you do take that damage as it attaches itself to you. And that's that. I'm just gonna have it here so it's like attached. This is so unintentional. Sorry. With that done, we have Gizmo.
Gizmo, seeing that we're facing not only one but multiple creatures, he's going to.
Those spawn links.
Oops. He's going to shout out to look out for the little ones too, and he's going to forward to here, and I think that puts me within range of the big one. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the big one.
Sure.
And then I will fire off 2 rounds with my repeating crossbow.
Anything above a 15 or 15 will hit. All the while, Battlerak lets off a couple more bullets, like sort of slicing off a few of those mushrooms on top of the creature's head with a few of the bullets. Both strikes hit as Pew Pew follows up with 13 piercing and 10. I believe.
Bonus from the Hunter's Mark is an additional 10.
Wow. So that's going to be 20 plus 13. Or 33 damage.
And that's my partial movement, and that's my bonus action. And I will use the rest of my movement to move 10 feet back. And since I used my bonus action, I have not directed Clank this round, but I did ask him to retrieve.
For the sake of this, we're going to say that Clank has the creature in his grasp at this moment.
Okay. So since he was instructed, would he be moving back toward the opening, or does that...
He still has movement, right?
Yeah. He does. Okay, so he's gonna move
Mind
back.
you, you're like sort of grappling a heavy object, whatever, you're sort of dragging it with you. His speed is going to be halved while he's dragging that, if that's fair. But, so how far can he reach?
That's completely fair.
Yeah.
So he can move 20 then out of his...
Sounds excellent. He drags the carcass across the ground past Bajarak, who's sort of in his raging form. Nice. Good going. That'll be end of turn.
Yes, it is.
All right, squeezing past you there is going to be Glabagool, squeezing past actually 420 movement to get here, which is as far as you can get. I'm ready. Bring it. Like, I don't know. Like, he's slow. Only I'm allowed to attach myself to people's heads. Jimjar is a rogue. He has a grackle gas canister that he sort of gets out with one hand, and he has like a short sword in the other that he sort of like made from like a bone of some creature he picked up along the way and just sort of sharpened, because he doesn't have much in terms of weapons and armor at this point. Let's see here. We have cunning action dash from the rogue across difficult terrain would be 10, 20, 30, 45. Okay. I'm gonna help Eric. He's gonna go ahead and like leap off the rock here and sort of end with a sneak attack to try and stab off the creature of Eric. We have a 2 melee attacks. Sneak attack is just extra damage, not advantage. When he lands for a total of 16 damage against the creature attached to you there, Eric. Slashing it, trying to cleave it off you, help you out. I don't have any. That's bonus action, movement. That's Jindra's turn as he goes to action. The rest of the Neverlight Chamblings, acting as one, as a swarm, begin to close in. They're slow to hover, as if moving against gravity. They're just gonna dash forth, sort of leaping from their upper branches and such, to drift towards you guys. This is 30, this is 40, like so. That's as far as that one can reach. This one's gonna go ahead and drift toward Eric, trying to sort of swarm Eric, making it just close enough to attack. Shambling will attempt to face hug. For 16 to hit against Eric, I believe misses.
Does not hit.
Yeah, there it remains. And the last of them, 1, 2, 3. Goes toward Bajarak. That is 20 feet, and it has to take an action to then float around Bajarak, opting to go for the back of the party. Sneaky little bugger. You rolled a what for stealth there, Ivan? Remind me.
I think
15.
15. Yeah.
It cannot detect you. You are hidden from it. So it floats around here, just searching for other targets that are not next to a big old predator like Glabagul, but it does not find you to face hag. In fact, you know what? It grows motionless in there and attempts to hide in ambush. So I'm gonna roll a stealth for it. Be its action. It's hidden with a 21. Anybody who beats that can detect it. Otherwise, it rolls with a disadvantage as it becomes hidden, where you last saw it. Okay. I believe one of those creatures then will be the Neverlight Shambler in that initiative, as we have the big boy take his turn. So, as I telegraphed before, the big old tendril comes down. The first of the fine tendrils comes down upon Bajarak for a 11 to hit, missing you as you either dodge it away or, like, you know, sort of deflect it out of the way, and it comes smashing down. For context, the size of these freaking tendrils is this big.
Jesus!
And you get the sort of idea of what its reach is.
Yeah. Dang.
3 more tendrils, vines growing out of its back, sort of flash out, one toward Eric. For a 20 to hit against Eric, as you get crushed for 11 bludgeoning damage and a crackling 4 for a total 15, and you're grappled. I'll grapple by these little green icons because it's easy for me to read. You're grappled and restrained. The second vine tendril lands toward Jimjar for 23 to hit, crushing him for 9 damage, and he also is restrained in such a way by this guy. And then we have a final vine tendril toward Glabagul because it's funny. It's Glabagul for damage. As Glabagul gets hit with lightning, you guys feel the grasp of the tendrils sort of begin to sort of latch you closer and reel you in toward the Shambler. Those of you who are grappled are moved 25 feet straight toward it. So that
is it 20 feet towards it?
25. So Jimja moves this close, okay, and Glabagul is moved this close. 4 attacks with its value uses its drill and makes 1 attack with its bite if it's within range. 1 bite attack against Eric, as you are now within range of it. For 19 to hit, strikes Eric for 21 piercing damage. As it begins to sort of... you are too large for it to engulf you. So it just begins like gnawing at you, just feeding on you from the outside, trying to absorb you like a snake unhinges its jaw, trying to grasp you in its full mass, but you're just way too big for it to engulf you. So luckily, you are spared from that fate. As we have top of initiative, Isabel.
Okay. Soon, like, I blink and Eric and the rest of the party disappear.
You've never seen Gabagool move
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah, I move forward and I shoot these guys as I'm moving forward.
That one is attached to Eric still. For your,
Okay.
for it moving, but this one is within. I mean, you can shoot either
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I shoot. Yeah, so you see, like, I aim the revolver, and in the tip of the revolver, like, energy start to focus as a fireball come out.
Huh?
26 to hit.
Sorry,
12.
hitting which? This one or Eric's?
I'm gonna say Eric's, because I feel
Okay.
like he's gonna need it. Yeah.
The shamblings, I'm just checking here. Yeah, they're also resistant to fire damage, being moist creatures, but damage is damage.
Damage
As
is
you
damage.
cinch, yeah.
Yeah, and you see from my hip, the orbs start rolling out, and to my friends, you're gonna get some temp HP. Because you need it, boys. Oh my god, always 13? This is a shit. Okay, yeah, always 13. 13 guys, for you. For the ones
I
that
appreciate
lose
you, Gunshot,
HP.
says the guy being ginger restrained by the vine, yeah.
Yeah, so Glabagools, Ginger, and Eric has 13 HP again.
Cool.
That's it for me. And you see my birdie boy just flying. Like, ooh.
Excellent. We have then Eric to follow up.
Is the face hugger on me still alive?
It's, yep.
Wow. Okay. Eric,
Level 5.
seeing that this plant creature isn't burning, is just gonna click his tongue in frustration and say so much for that Alchemist fire. And he goes back to good old reliable. He's gonna activate Dawnbringer and attack. He's gonna attack the mound that's on his face first.
Just waiting for those rules.
Mm-hmm.
The Radiant Blade scathes across the creature for how much damage? 18.
Or 18 damage. Almost max damage just on the sword. Oh,
It
never
manages to latch onto you with
never
a
rolled it yet, but almost.
three tendrils, still alive but barely. You manage to actually cleave out and with the Radiant Blade scathe out one of its like eyes that pops to water. It's on death's door.
Oh my gosh, it's still alive.
Yep.
Okay. With his other attack, he's going to attack the tendril that's holding him. For 16.
16 hits. You have to hit for 10 temporary hit points. As you destroy the
For
tendril and
another-
free yourself.
And Eric is gonna move himself and actually he's just gonna move 10 feet back, yeah, with the thing so attached to him. These
Yep.
things are tanky. And that is his turn.
Bajorak. The tendril with the
Unfortunately,
smash beside you just like sort of slithering back towards Shambler. Just while still having
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do like the Dark Souls like barrel roll out of the way. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Dawnbringer's light is having much of an effect on these Underdark creatures either, and fire.
Well, radiant damage
Some-
scathed right through him, did a massive amount of damage, so much more effective than fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Was what about the sunlight though? Does it look like it's bothering them?
It's not myconoid.
Okay. I don't know if I had anything else.
Okay.
I don't know who's affected by that stuff.
Yeah. If
So
it's
I'm gonna
relying on
move-
like some sort of a sense to see, it's not like it's weird. It's relying on blind sight. I don't know how a different way of phrasing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
40. Okay, so I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15.
You're essentially fighting the mire, the land itself. It can sense your footsteps and such within a certain range. It's not relying on like sight. It just has eyes because of like aesthetic. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna move
Yeah.
20 feet. I'm gonna do enlarge.
Oh, dope.
So that's 20. So if I do 25, 30, 35, 40, that'd put me in the water. Oh, but that'd be difficult terrain, so minus. Okay. So I'll do 5 here. You know what? 10, 15, that kind of maxed me out. And then, fuck, that's my action. Bonus action, I don't think I have any good bonus actions. Nah, that's pretty much just my action is moving through all that stuff. So yeah, that would just basically be my turn.
The Shambler still attached to Eric's head is gonna them to squeeze and ruling with advantage because it is attached to you. I wouldn't change that so it doesn't say cloaker. But 10. Not doing much damage. You pretty much almost killed it, so it's really weak. It's gonna go ahead and
A lot bigger than its usual victims, probably.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
it's trying to squeeze, but
biting
it's
more than you can
literally
chew.
just a hug.
Absolutely, yeah. Gizmo.
Gizmo is going to.
Gizmo's about to get ambushed.
I was gonna say he's gonna try to stay back here. I gotta measure. I think I'm still within the range. Yeah. I'm gonna fire off 2 more shots at the big shambler.
You are surprised to not get spells. It's both Ivan and Gizmo I find out just crossbow.
We get spells, but we don't have a lot of spell slots.
Gotcha,
And
okay.
Sometimes the crossbow works better than the spells, though.
Yeah, I gotcha. So
Well,
9 piercing
it only-
damage pierces the creature, no problem.
It only fired once, so I guess I need to roll the second time. I thought I rolled twice.
And a 13 unfortunately does not hit anything vital on the creature.
All right, so that's a 9 plus the d6 from Hunter's Mark. So 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I will move back by additional 10 so that I'm kind of back here beside Clank. And I'll tell Clank to drop the creature and defend me. And he'll just drop the creature at his feet and he'll be kind of in defensive mode. Which doesn't really mean anything other than...
It's nice flavor, I appreciate it nonetheless. Restrained and grappled by the vines, Glabgold nonetheless is going to attempt to make finished attacks against these shamblings that creep in, trying to absorb them into itself. Can I roll pseudopod? Oh, that was a natural 20 I just lost. That's okay, I'll take it. Attacking with an acidic pseudopod against one of the shamblings. He's still restrained, still struggling there in the vines, as we have then Jimjar to follow, shielded by the radiance of the shield upon which you bestowed upon him. He is going to go ahead and try and get that thing off your head there, Eric. Missing the first strike.
16.
And a second. The restraint's really doing him no favors here. Let's see here. Just doing see if it's an action to escape these vines. It is. Okay.
Oh, Jim Jar's grappled too, right? That's
Yes.
what I forgot.
Everybody who has a little green icon on them are grappled right now.
Yep.
We have the face hugger attempting to face hug ooze, which succeeds. Attaching himself to Glab, zapping it. Make it so. The Neverlight Shambler takes its turn. It's gonna go ahead and groan, reeling back from your assault. You can see the lightning within it crackles from the core out of those mushrooms on top of it. As it tries to regain balance, it's gonna go ahead and shamble back into its cavern 20 feet, like so. And then bring out its four tendrils. The first one is at Javik.
What?
Bajarak.
Yeah, it hits.
Yes. For a total of 13 damage, unless you have resistance to lightning or anything. You are also affected by that restrainment of the vine. Remove that vine so I know exactly what the range of its is. There we go. Just much better when I actually know the range. Alrighty then, and then Eric. A vine tendril lashes out against you for a 20 to hit.
Hits.
And now a vine tendril lashes out against Isabel for an 18 to hit. Misses.
It's a miss.
And another vine against Isabel for 22.
As this second one is going straight to my head, he hits a wall and casting shield.
Nice. You are shielded. Alrighty then. Damage is applied. It reels its victim in toward its lair. Glabagul is reeled in 25 feet. Hot. Jim Jar is reeled in 25 feet.
That's faster than Glavagool can run.
All part of the plan! And then you two are also reeled. Yeah, thanks. Directed toward it would be like here, just so we are not ending on each other's spaces. After the reel, anybody who's within 5 feet of it takes a bite, so that's gonna be Jim Jar. Jim Jar, it's restrained, so bite with advantage. Yeah, that makes sense.
What?
God help me! Not like this! Not like this! And the last you see of Jim Jar as the jaw unhinges and he gets swelled up, or so you would think, as you see the teeth of the creature clap against a silvery shield around him, saving him perhaps from certain death as he takes a total of 24 minus 13 from temporary hit points that you bestowed upon him. 11 damage. And the shield begins to sort of crack, and finally does, and he is left scraped by the teeth and is on his last legs here, fighting legs. Engulfed. Alrighty then, that's gonna be its turn. Neverlight Shamblers remaining are these two in the back here. The first one is the one that's sort of been trying to ambush all the while. Can I get Gizmo to roll me a perception check, please?
You can.
If it beats the... That's fine.
I don't think 5 is gonna beat.
No. So I am rolling with advantage here for face hug as a fast face hugger manifests out of the shadows and attacks Gizmo from the back there for 21 to hit, latching onto his helmet and head. You are blinded, suffocated as the ability describes, and taking a total of 8 damage. Yep.
Yeah,
target is no longer hit. Last of the Shamblings over yonder is gonna go ahead and latch onto Atlas because it's a close target. Face hug Atlas. 21.
Face hugging it. Yeah, face hugging it.
For total 3 plus. I feel like lightning damage will be like vulnerability for this construct, but what do I know? Total 7 damage.
Yeah, it's a fight in the shield, but yes, it's there.
Meanwhile, Eric still has that one shambling attached to him. Cool. It's them's my turns. So at the beginning of the round, Isabel, you see that Jimjar has been engulfed. No longer protected by your shield, he's within the monster.
I cannot see him, right?
No, he has total cover. Let me read the ability precisely, because that's not might be the case, real quick. The Neverlight Shambler engulfs a medium or smaller creature grappled by it. The engulfed creature is blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe. Instead of the creature's turn, it doesn't have total cover, so you can't see him.
Okay, as he's dissolving a bath of pool, I guess. Ginger see Gizmo on the other side for a moment as I cast Vortex Wrap. In
Thank
front
the
of his
gods.
face.
Where are you landing him?
I'm gonna say here,
Where's here? Sorry.
far from danger. Sorry. Here.
Here? Okay. I'll trust you that you know the range of your own spells.
Yeah.
There he plops in mud. That's how my life flashed before my eyes. So boring.
And Atlas, with all the power it has, is moving to Bass and doing another protector. And yeah, it's dragging the face hugger. To my friends, oh my god, this chat is always good. 13 for everyone.
Nice.
I'm gonna stay here at the moment. That's it.
Okay. Eric. Grapple restrained. What do you do?
Eric is going to attack the vine grappling him again.
Remember, you have disadvantage on your attacks. Yeah.
16
16 strikes.
for 19 damage.
Destroying the vine.
And then Eric is gonna approach this thing. It's been fucking him up and attack it. Just head on. For 20 damage. And when this attack hits, he's going to use the fire rune. From his ring comes the phoenix. Comes the phoenix-shaped flames with chains dangling from its wings, and he has to make a strength save. DC 14.
Shambler, strength. Plus 4 to my roll of 16 will be a 20 total.
Ooh, yeah, he passes, but he still takes a 3 fire damage. And you know what? I'm gonna action surge anyway and attack it 2 more times.
Trying to bring down, you swing your radiant blade twice. Strike true.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
There we
Nice.
go.
Oh, there's also the I turned off the giant smite damage for when I was using the ring. For 32 damage.
As you bring the monster down onto its knees, its grip threatening to swallow your friends where they stand, you land a second hit with a 16.
For another 22 damage.
It barely stands.
Eric is, after that flurry of blows, he's catching his breath as he looks to see that it's still there. It's still flashing its vines about. But gonna second wind, and that's his turn.
Okay. Bazarak Oldbank.
So I am restrained. Everything's at 0, my movement. So I'm just gonna go for just attack the vine and everything.
We need to get your ranged weapon, man.
I know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for the
Both of us.
vine. What's that?
Is it both of us?
Yeah. I have like little darts, but woof. Okay. So we're gonna go with. Ooh, it is a disadvantage. I forgot. Okay. Anyways, a 12 does not hit. A 16 will
Strikes.
for 7 slashing.
The vine still has 3 hit points remaining.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Fury of Blows then. Question: if I was to, the vine is its own.
Entity, yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know then. Okay, never mind. Then yeah, I'm gonna go for Fury of Blows. Let me mark down 1 key point, and let's do disadvantage still. Miss. Okay.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just not able to get through like those tangled vines, and I'm just kind of not really able to get to like those vital points that I want into it. Other than that, that's my turn.
As it begins to drag you beneath the waves, trying to drown you out. The last of Neverlight Chamblings attached to Eric still somehow is going to go ahead and make its facehugger attack with advantage. Attack to him for 16 to strike.
Does not squeeze. He's trying to squeeze me, but I'm just Eric's in the zone.
Gizmo, blinded, panicking.
Doesn't feel it.
Yes. Is there a roll to get this thing off my face, or how does that work?
Creature including Dark can take its action to detach the. It says cloaker, but we'll ignore it. The creature by succeeding on a DC 15 check, but it is your full action to that.
And
Suffocating blinding, you can still attack it.
true. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be attacking the creature on my face with my crossbow. I am going to drop the crossbow at my feet.
Kurt
And
Cobain.
I am going
Shut
to I'm going to grope around my my belt and grab hold of my arcane, my all-purpose tool. And with that in hand, I am going to cast, I'm pretty sure I have. Oh, do I not have it? Never mind, I had it on the level 10 gizmo. I wanted to use Shocking Grasp, but I don't have it. I'm going to sugar. I'm gonna. Can I spray Tasha's caustic brew on myself? No, not really.
I won't aim a crossbow myself, but I will aim acid my own face.
Yeah, that sounds.
You can do
worse.
either. They're both equally good plans. Remember, you also have
Alright,
Clank.
Yeah, so for my bonus action, I will tell Clank to get this thing off of me, and I will actually grab my my hammer instead of the tool, since I can't cast that spell. So Big Daddy, and I will use Big Daddy to smack myself in the face twice to get this thing off of me. Big Daddy! And this is at disadvantage.
21 strikes. And 13 strikes too, so both land. What's the total damage for both strikes?
24.
There he is, the rock gnome scholar, battling for his life in the back. Creature's still attached to
Bashing
you.
himself in the face. Bashing himself in the face with a warhammer. So Clank use his action to try to get it off?
Sure
Is
can.
it a roll? What is he rolling to get it off?
It is a 15 DC 15 strength check.
Strength, not athletics, just strength.
Yep. I mean, your creature uses strength either way. Yeah.
So that's not going to make it. Okay.
Hit.
And that's my turn.
Glabagul is gonna go ahead and try and free up Bajarak Goldfang by slapping the 3 HP tendrils around him. He's gonna do his best. Disadvantage because he is restrained pseudopod against an AC of 15. Oh. Jim Jar back on his feet, rising up.
The horror.
The horror. Is gonna go ahead and attempt to help a friend. He's gonna go ahead and roll a strength check on his turn. Strength. Have anything better? For a moment, he contemplates, like, he gets like the Greco stew gas canister, looks at it, looks at Gizmo. Nah. So I'll just roll strength here. Normal roll. DC of 15. He pries it off your head. You're no longer suffocating.
Gizmo takes a couple of deep breaths. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Stick together, he says, one eye shot as blood comes streaming down his brow. Okay, I'm just... A rogue's not great when you eat up their action. Cunning action, dodge. That is not a thing. Cunning action, disengage. As it's gonna go ahead and use you as a butt shield. I don't know. I don't have attacks on my turn. Alrighty then. Shambler's gonna go ahead and attack Glabagul. Striking Glabagul against his 6 AC. Wounding him. As Glabagul in turn begins to wear out and become bloody, still restrained by the shambling mound that reels them in. The shambling mound takes its turn. I'm surprised it's still alive. Alrighty then. The shambler then will make its attacks. One against Eric. For an 18 strike.
18 hits.
Familiar grasp as you are entwined by it. It's gonna go ahead and bite.
Isn't that those bind attacks, aren't they ranged attacks? Would it not have disadvantage trying to hit me with that while I'm next
They're
to it?
reach attacks. That is a melee
okay,
attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, as it restrains you, take a total of the 11 damage there. We have... Isabel, are you within 50 feet of me? Measuring with fairness. You are. One attack against Isabel for 13 misses. And I might have to eat up another one of your shields there. Miss. As two vines miss their strikes against Isabel, the last one goes against Bajarak. Just to wound here. And to reel him closer, I have against Bajarak a 9.
Ooh.
Yes. It then reels the creature close to it. Yep.
I was just gonna RP, like, as the thing's coming down, and just kind of put both my hands up, like, hit the back of my forearms and deflect it.
Yeah, with your monks. Yeah. Fortunate for you, as you're reeled in, you're within melee range of it now. So.
Come to me, Daddy.
Yes. You're reeled in.
I've been waiting for this.
He's reeled in. There we are. This is so weird. You're all too large for a thin gulp because you're all large. All right, well, that's its turn. Yeah. Two more shamblers. I'm just sending them. Isabel, you're on deck. One of them strikes Atlas. The other one is where? The other one's by Gizmo. Gizmo, it's a shambling attack against you for. Sorry, you're on deck, but that misses, and the other one is against Atlas. That is attached, so it's going to be advantage against Atlas. Just try to destroy the construct there for 20 to hitting Atlas for another 6 damage total, and then it's Isabel's turn.
Okay, you see Isabel aims her gun to the Shambler, and you see her arms start to do sparklings. A lot of lighting, a lot of charging to the gun. I'm using Vital Sacrifice. And yeah, I'm gonna shoot at it. And you see that in the gun, you see the fireball going out, and 3 small shards of red. 26 to hit, so that's 16 fire damage and 2 necrotic. Let's see, 8 necrotic damage.
As the bullet hits, the withering effect begins to spread like a black flag from its core. How do you want to do this as you strike this creature dead?
Okay, I say while it's opening its maw, trying to engulf Glavagules, I see a weak spot inside of it, and the 3 bullets get in there and start consuming it with fire.
It's just dead. At this point of combat, as you've downed the great beast, you can see the other shamblings that spawn connected to it begin to detach themselves from the various creatures they're attached to and move to flee to survive. Do you wish to destroy them or let them be?
Destroy them.
Destroy them.
Then combat continues.
Okay. That's all for my turn. Nothing else.
Eric, you're no longer grappled.
Eric will attack the creature that's attached to him still, somehow.
You're striking its measly armor class of 13, missing somehow. They're trying to reach it. It's beginning to scramble to the back of your neck and down your back, and you're trying to back scratch yourself to hit it.
He made the mistake of actually trying to swing at it, and it didn't even hit because he was too scared of actually hitting his own face. And for the second attack, he's like, okay, better idea. Oh my gosh. Well,
We got crowd on your crack, boy. Alright, well, there's that. 2 misses. Do you want to action search again?
I wish. That is his turn.
Bajarak.
I hold still. And he's just gonna go with 2 razor attacks.
Go with the first.
These are at normal now. Oh
Miss.
my god.
Scrumble little creature. Hits.
5, 9.
Cool. It's 1 off from his HP. I'm gonna say you killed it because honestly, 1 HP is ass.
Yeah.
This is destroyed, squelched beneath your claws.
Got that second claw, and then coming around. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, you know what? Come down here. Moving around and kind of wading through the water and everything. So that's attached to Glavagool. Could I just Fury of Blows and just punch it into him so he absorbs it?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I was ready to end combat at this point. We're just having fun flavoring stuff, giving you a chance to punch shit because you didn't get to.
Let's go for it. A 20.
Cool.
1. For 7 damage, and then just try to punch it into him so he can just absorb them.
Delicious.
Hi, free snack. You're welcome.
Just begins squirming at him, shriveling in. There's a strong acid begins to digest him.
And that's everything for me.
All right, Gizmo.
Gizmo, with Big Daddy in both hands, is gonna swing twice at the swing for the fences, trying to knock this little guy out of the park. That's 1, 2.
Both strike.
4. So that's 19.
As you just baseball bat this creature, it goes flying across the chamber and squelches against the wall here. Splats onto the floor. Destroyed.
And don't come back.
Do. Anything you should kind to do before Glabagul takes over?
No, I think Clank's fine.
No problem. Right then. It's gonna be 66 fights. Just gonna roll damage for funsies of it, but this thing is pretty much beginning to digest at this point actively within Glabagul as he begins to digest it for 27 acid damage. Yeah. In a matter of like 12 seconds, you guys just see this creature like screech and dissolve into Glabagul, into like just remnants, nothing. Dead. Delicious. Ooh, sloppy seconds. All right, he's gonna go move in and begin feasting on the big shambler, and that's he's gonna end his turn there. We have then Jimjar wounded. He's gonna go ahead and curse under his breath and this was my good suit. You tore it, and he's gonna go ahead and just throw one of those canisters with a good arm throw toward this Neverlight shambling, detonating it on hit. I'm just gonna test out how this grenade works. How much damage does it actually do? Shambling is gonna go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw against the implosion. Saving, taking half of 3d6. Fire damage, which because it's soak, it takes only half of. Leaving you guys to commit the coup de grace. Alrighty then. Isabel, you go ahead. Take your turn.
Okay, yeah. I grab like a baton and I just start smashing it with choking grasp. Let's see. 19 to hit.
Yep.
17 lightning damage.
Lightning damage. You learn something about shamblers. Being creatures of lightning, you see it absorb the lightning and begin to heal its wounds for all the damage you dealt.
Oh!
You learn something new about this creature.
Okay. That was not in the encyclopedia.
It begins to glow brighter now, cackling with energy.
He's stealing my moves, but yeah, Protector, 11 temporary.
Sure, man. If you guys want to keep going with this, torturing this creature, it's Eric's turn.
I wouldn't say it's
Eric
torture.
will.
Beating it up, healing it back up, beating it up some more.
Oopsies.
It's not like we were intending to heal it up, I think. So.
Does anybody hear Lorian speak, by the way?
And just try to finish it off. You guys can hear me?
You like
Hello?
You went silent for 30 seconds and trying to finish it off. So I'm gonna assume you ruled something.
Hey,
Yeah. Hey.
you can hear me now?
Hey.
Yes.
Yes.
Eric's gonna finish off this this last shambler minion.
Yep, man. Give me that damage.
22. Is it still alive?
Of course it's still alive. You just healed it. You just healed full health. Of course it's still alive.
Oh no, natural one.
Bazarak.
Okay, here we go. We'll go over here now. And we hit him with the bada bing. Early razors, 20, and an 8. 20 hits. 6 for 8 damage.
Yeah, at this time, we're just racing to damage the thing. It's not gonna do much against you guys. I'm ready to finish up this combat as you guys just...
Yeah, that's fine.
Jojo beat it up. I just want you guys to learn a new thing about these things, that they heal from lightning damage. Who knows, maybe you'll have them in the future.
No.
Can we call it here then?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
As
we're
you're
good.
victorious and the shambling mound lays there, go ahead, a lot of you, roll me insight checks, please.
Insight.
These were the original Myconoids. 4.
9, 4, 19, which is very suiting for you.
Even though I had a +0 to that.
Yeah, no, but still.
I have 2 thick of skull right now.
Thank you for your rules. Proceed as you will.
Gizmo is going to go over to Jim Jar and not only thank him, but my friend, here, let me help you out. Let me give you some healing. You don't look so well.
Thank you, Gancho.
And he is going to. I don't know that we've seen this before, but he is going to use Cure Wounds. He actually going to upcast it at. Did that roll? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
13?
For 13 points. So he takes a small item out of his belt. It looks like a small caulk gun, and he applies a generous amount of a salve that smells suspiciously like bacon grease. And he refers to it as his healing ointment. He rubs it into Jim Jar's wounds,
Gizmo
killing him
gets,
for 13 damage.
Gizmo gets inspiration. I hate it, but he gets inspiration.
Yay! I'll take it.
It smells kind of nice.
And was there anything? Oh, specific in the Shenley Mount is. Oh, I don't think the shambling mount is completely dead. I think we're going to need to finish it off, or it's going to come back.
What do you mean?
Well, look, I think it's just pretending.
We can bring it back to the grove. The Myconites can consume him. Make sure that it's done.
Mate, he's saying he ain't dead yet. You want to bring that creature back in that's gonna wreak havoc? Alright, look. I'll put your mind at ease. We'll go cut some, a little bit off the top, if you know what I'm saying. I like his cut, G.
I think it is healing by sinking its roots. It looks like it's sinking roots. We need to cut it down.
Gloves! Devour! I do it like a Pokemon master.
Sure. Baba will proceed to eat the mound, and as he begins to engulf the mass, you can see some of the tendrils do indeed begin to sort of twitch into life to struggle away from it, but too late. Glubgo has already absorbed the whole thing into himself. It seems that this thing is capable of feigning its own death, sneaky as it is. But not anymore.
That was a close one.
Sneaky
Indeed.
bugger.
I'm so full.
Good job noticing that.
Yeah.
Glabagal needs an antacid or some Tums or something. Right?
I'm gonna take a nap.
Gonna sit on the couch, unbutton his pants.
Yeah. Oh, I need pants. Goes to his adventure journal, get pants. Your quest is done. The Greek corpse is with you. Quest complete.
Quest complete.
Just curious, would there be anything in the chambers to the left or right, or is it just flowing water and?
I mean, to answer your question, yes, there are stuff to the left and right. What are you looking for? The water sort of flows from the south to the north. It's a subterranean stream of sorts. There's glowing mushrooms all around, rocks.
Well, curious though, what about the mushrooms? The glowing blue ones over here. Looking at them, we're gonna be on the road. I don't want to take anything directly from the Myconoid colony because might be, may not sit well with them. What would this blue one look like?
Glowing blue mushroom about half the size of your head with its cap around. Some specimens growing like 3 feet tall. Looks like a jellyfish.
Would I be able to recall any other information about it? Oh, you! Gizmo.
I mean,
You're pretty good
yes.
with it.
Yes, you and I can work. What are you hoping this mushroom could do?
I'm just asking if you had anything.
No,
I didn't know if there's
willing
any
to work with
properties
you.
you just threw onto
It's
the
like
map.
for me, it's just a way to illuminate the chamber. But like, I'm willing to
That's
work with
fine.
my players for narrative. I didn't have anything pre-written now.
Oh, I don't. That's fine. I didn't know if it was like one of the other stuff that I found with Dominic back then.
From what
he had
Gizmo can recall, I'm gonna say this much: he would know that these are an inedible sort of mushroom. Not everything that glows is edible in the dark. Not all that shimmers is gold. But it could be a source of light.
Sure. Yeah.
A few of them do like sort of lay on the ground unrooted, and unlike night fronds, they don't die off the bat. Seem to retain some of their luminosity. Just illumination per chamber.
I do wonder should,
anything? Go ahead.
Sorry. I do wonder if we should search this chamber. Perhaps other victims have fallen prey to this creature, and perhaps there are items here that we could recover that might help us on our way.
I'm hoping there's nothing else creeping along these shadows. But yeah, I'm off to find something. What was theirs is now ours. So what'll it be? Left, right? I'm going this way.
You guys are adventurers. You venture into a section of what is essentially a waterfall at this point. That you'll have to like climb against the flow of water into what is eventually going to become darkness and just subterranean water tunnels. Guys, I don't have anything beyond these walls. I'm not gonna lie. You're going off.
That's fine. Just tell me that.
I love it that you guys are exploring. I'm just like sitting here like I don't have anything. Like.
Yeah, that's fine. I know.
I'll give you something though.
Video game knowledge, because like maybe there's something behind the waterfall.
So being a Bajarak, especially, and other of you who've been to Underdark long enough, you would know of an item that I've mentioned before in this campaign, this scintillating half-light bomb, that is made from heartlight or other phosphorescent mushrooms, infused into shells of flail snails, creatures you have not encountered yet, to make these like blinding bombs. I'm gonna say that these mushrooms can double as a rage to make these heartlight bombs as well, if you're interested. They do take like a whole day to craft though. Like this is like one of those like long rest craft 1 potions.
Yeah, let's take them.
Cool. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
Eric follows Bazarak to the waterfall. He's like, you've never seen this before in Gracklestuff?
I know what a fucking waterfall is. I just wanted to know if there's anything behind it. People hide shit everywhere. Is there
Eric looks over again over the edge of the waterfall, and he just like, he just like gestures towards it. It's like, what?
Eric, roll me a perception check. You little
perception?
Shit. Yeah, you little shit. Don't worry about it.
All right, Diaboleth gets you.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess you won't find my portal to the plane of water, I guess.
His foot gets stuck in the mud and his boot comes off. That one.
Soggy socks. I curse you with soggy socks.
Hey man, you're gonna get trench footed.
The worst curse.
Root for trench foot.
Yeah.
Adrak gets pink eye, you get trench foot. All the fun of D&D.
Oh no! Wait a minute, how does that happen?
The spores. You were rubbing your eyes.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, we can take some of these back.
I don't know. He gets to clap. Sorry, thoughts. That should not be
What?
voiced. Anyways.
Wow.
Wow.
That-
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
You get the
Moving on.
bump back.
Quest complete. You have the Greek body to and rage just to make some scintillating hot light bombs. I'm gonna roll a d4, which will indicate how many of those hard light bombs you guys can make with the reagents you find in the cave. Either the mushrooms that you find are not ripe enough, or grown enough as a specimen to be suitable. But nonetheless, the party will be able to make 2 of those scintillating hot light bombs during your next long rest with the mushrooms you found here. I am a gracious god. You're welcome. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, God.
Like,
Thanks.
get to that Grick body up and take it out.
He does that. Alrighty then. Back into our loading screen as you guys make it out of the cave. Ooh.
I love the loading screen, by the way.
Thanks. I tried. I'm really bored at work sometimes. Sometimes I have find time to make maps and shit. We are back.
I need like a gamer hint at the bottom of it. Remember, you can do this.
Be careful, you can catch a clap. Do
Yeah.
you guys see like the arrow and stuff if I do this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna use that for your party marker for now. That's lazy. That's fine. I'll just do it, you guys. Eric, Manarang, Yellamale, Yesmo, and Self is here in spirit. Alrighty then. You return to the circle of hunters outside. Where are we at? Quest complete. Yeah, you return triumphant from your battle with the shambling mound. Luba Moob approaches. The tall and lean myconoid tilts its cap toward you, its spores filling the air with a sense of relieved gratitude. You have done well. Balance begins to return to this part of the grove. The hunters will now recover the Greek's remains and bring them to Basidia for reanimation. You have our trust. The myconoid hesitates for a moment, as if gathering the courage to say more. Finally, its spores pulse with a deeper resonance. There is something else. You have proven yourselves, and so I will speak plainly. Like Basidia, I share concerns about Philo's new ways. It is unlike anything we have known and unnatural. Something festers within it, a corruption that twists our kind. Though I resist it when I meld with the inner circle, I feel Philo's influence more and more, and it spreads throughout the melds like a poison. It lowers its cap slightly, as if burdened by these thoughts. I keep my worries hidden, but my unease spreads to the other hunters when we join. They too grow wary. It is why I redirect the spore servants and awaken Zerkwood's Philo creates away from here, keeping them away from our circle's lands. They are touched by something dark, something that is not right, it says. I fear that if this continues, Philo will lead the grove into a path from which we cannot return. Be mindful of this, should you remain here. And with that, Lubamu offers a final quiet thought as it turns to depart with the Greek corpse you have brought. We hunters are loyal to Basidia, and I will protect my circle from this growing rot as long as I can. But the grove may need help that goes beyond what we can give. Have you anything to say? Questions, remarks?
Who
Since
is
when?
Basidia?
One of the 2 sovereigns leading this grove. Still mention her throughout your travels.
Philo is the other one, or it's
Lubamu sort of pauses, sensing the party's confusion, and explains, Ah, of course. You do not yet know Philo. Philo is one of the 2 sovereigns who guide our grove alongside Basidia. It gestures with a slow, sweeping motion toward the deeper parts of the grove. Philosopher, dreamer. Philo has long been revered for its visions, But lately something has changed. Philo speaks of a great growth, a grand new way for all Myconids, a union of minds beyond what we have ever known. Many have embraced this vision, but I fear it is tainted. Its spores have become strange to me. I do not recognize them. Philo's path feels twisted, as if an outside force now drives it. Basidia and I fear that this great growth is not the salvation Philo believes it to be, but rather something far more dangerous. You will see soon enough, I suspect.
Excuse me, sir. When the drow was here, did the drow speak with both of the sovereigns, or perhaps
You feel an affirmative.
primarily with Philo?
It saw the sovereigns. It saw the inner circle.
Okay.
Has been granted the same welcome you have. Same advisement.
Okay.
You wouldn't happen to know what they talked about, did you?
They wished, from what it tells you, they wish to explore this grove, gain knowledge about it, scout it out, and then they spoke to sovereigns, and that's really as much as Lubamub knows. It has been carrying out its duties as the leader of a circle of the hunters. Unfortunately, does not know more than what it is allowed to know by its sovereigns through the melding.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything like it's been going through Gracklestug. Kind of talks in a hush murmur. Oh, you know what it might be then. It's not too
Mind
fast even
flayers.
all the way out here. I ain't no fucking mind flayers, mate. They're fucking dead. What? Listen. I don't remember where I recalled this at. But isn't there some, like, demoness or something with, like, fungus or mushrooms and stuff like that? I don't know. Does that ring a bell? Maybe in your mushroom book or something, Gizmo?
Gizmo be happy to make some kind of roll about what he can recall about demon lords at all. Is there
Sure.
a history?
Your character knows what they know.
Her name escapes me. I don't remember. I know something. Something's
Would
There's
your
something related
I'm gonna
to
ask
that.
you, would Gizmo know anything about such an entity?
Not unless he would have picked it up while being down here. It would not have been something that he would have studied directly.
I'm gonna leave it up to you as a player to choose whether or not your character knows this knowledge or not. It has not been presented by me, the dungeon master. So everything is plausible. This can be part of a demonic incursion. There is a demoness lady, fungus lady, that comes to mind from your religious textbook. Her name is Zuktmoy, if you're curious about the name. She is the demon of the 222nd layer of the abyss.
So I suspect that this could be demon involved, but whether or not a demon from the deep abyss, another demon lord, is here, I do not know.
I just figured mushroom colony, mushroom demon lady. I don't know. Goes together.
Mm-hmm.
Can be just madness. Spreading here.
Gizmo, being the more scholarly of the grouping of Candlekeep and all that, would definitely have been having had at least access to such books. I will leave it up to you again as a player, if whether or not to ask me one question to which I will try to answer. But I'll leave it up to you to come up with a question.
Is she good?
Is a demon lord good? Is a very good philosophical debate to have that Shushar would enjoy hours debating with you. But for the most part, No, I think that the demon queen of Lady of Rot and Decay is not good.
Right.
Her only desire is to infect the living with like spores to transform them like life into other versions of life. Her versions.
Yeah. Well, let's meet the sovereigns. Maybe we can learn more about this drow, and maybe it's just a bad case of madness, what's experienced, or maybe just a side effect of the Phaser. You know, it affects the minds and the magic. Like maybe it's
You mentioned
changing the mind.
Phasers, and
I was going to
just
say, have we seen any of it?
see this
around?
section of the map to the north here. That's all blue-like. That's Phasers.
Yeah.
You recognize it by sight. So
Okay.
I see. Everything can be explained with science, boys.
Sure. I'm just
Can I ask
throwing ideas
Dawnbringer
out.
if she would be? Can I ask Dawnbringer if she knows what Bazarek was talking about? The demoness, mushroom lady.
So
yeah,
let's
sure.
come-
I'll make my NPCs rule checks. 1 moment. Let me open up her sheet. And I can just play the game for you, man. It's all good. What's my
I'm just
religion check?
asking what's plausible, guys. It's just got me brain thinking,
She-
you know. Got
She
the old cogitators going.
she does not know. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Look, drow walk in, ask a bunch of questions, leave. Now all this. I'm drawing parallels.
Right.
What we should try to learn is the name of the drow who passed here.
At least if they were inquiring about escaped slaves.
I think it will be good, but also like if it was a priestess or some kind of wizard.
Now that you mention it, they were mentioning escaped prisoners, says Lugamoop. Basidia and Philo would know more, though, so you guys should probably talk to them.
Leave me alone, guys. Okay, thank you. Let me check the name.
Lubamoob. I'm not even gonna bother spelling them, because honestly, these Myconode names are whack. You're walking through the circle of spores, by the way, if you're curious. Of where you are. Would you like a description of what you see, or do you want to just walk through it? The choice is yours.
Yeah,
Thank you, tell us what's there.
Cool. Does anybody need an IRL like break, by the way? Like water or anything?
I'm okay, personally.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, pipe up if you need anything. I'm good to go though.
Yeah,
I've got a wireless headset, so I'm just gonna mute myself and go fill my drink, and I'll be right back. I'll be connected.
or yeah, give me 10 seconds to grab a protein bar. I'll be back.
Okay. I have sushi after
Please,
session.
thank you.
Ooh.
Oh, tell me more.
And why am I sitting in the dark? I'm like, my eyes are hurting. I'm like, why? Because I'm straining them. Give me that nice purple green.
I'm back. Protein bar in hand.
You guys get lucky. Ginger was 7 HP away from dying.
Ginger was lucky.
He only survived because of your shield.
Yeah, that boy almost gone. But he's got heart, he's got spirit.
Mhm.
That's what matters.
I mean, strength in numbers.
Except when
If
you're
only you
dead.
guys did not ditch the rest of your numbers behind for whatever reason. But it's fine. Less cluttered initiative. You guys want me to keep going with the description, or are we going to wait for Jeff to come back?
I think he said he's listening, so
Okay.
I'll say go ahead.
As you approach this circle of spores, you find yourselves in an area buzzing with activity. The ground here is covered in a thick layer of myconid sporelings, and tiny, freshly spored myconids, only a few inches tall. They move about aimlessly, but they grow rapidly before your eyes. Their growth evident in their increasing height and their gradual awakening of their awareness. And the air is filled with a faint, rhythmic humming that seems to emanate from the circle leader. Welcome. I am Zeroop, leader of the Circle of Spores. Look at all these wonderful little ones, soon to grow and flourish. They will spread the joyous influence of the Great Cedar through the Underdark and beyond. Glorious, isn't it? The creature that you innately get the name of to be Yerberop sways gently to an invisible rhythm, its movement almost hypnotic. The faint echo of its internal music can be heard as one attunes to its report spores, creating a surreal, dissonant melody as it speaks. Isn't it marvelous? Philo's grand plan to share the Great Cedar's happiness is truly inspired. We must cultivate as many sprouts as we can. Only then can the joy of the Great Cedar reach every corner of the world. Your Barop's gaze occasionally drifts from you to the growing sproutlings on the ground, and it seems to sort of lose focus on the conversation as it goes. What do you do?
Follow the grand plan. What? Go ahead.
Gizmo was just going to ask, the Great Cedar, is this someone you know from your what do they call themselves?
Sovereigns?
It's not their tribe. I'm trying to think what's the
Circle.
term they're using.
Circle.
Circle. Thank you.
It is all a
Is the
vision.
Great Cedar part of your circle?
A vision, it says, granted by their sovereigns.
Spoils it into me.
Philo's dreams and grand designs. I shouldn't be using that word because I like Illithid's card. All part of its a grand plan for its people, for them to prosper. It's just tells you what it tells you. Doesn't seem to have enough focus to explain away in delusions.
I have a question. Does Stool or Rampadam ever say that they were religious?
Stool says that Yerlope seems really odd. Excited, but it doesn't remember this kind of push for more sprouts before, or this drive towards some central religious figure beyond that which is the Myconid's original god, which is less of a god and more like a philosopher king that bestows his knowledge to other sovereigns. Its name is escaping me, but they give me 5 seconds. I can look up. I can literally Google it, and because Myconids will know it. Myconid god. Silifir is the god of all Myconids. It's more like a philosopher king entity that sort of guides and manifests as different avatars from there to sort of intervene throughout different circles. This entity does not sound to Stool nor Rumpadub as Silifir. Like, that's not who this Myconid is speaking about.
Okay.
This influence you speak of, like, of the Great Cedar, I mean, what is it? Like, you know, what's the point? Like, what's the end goal of all this? You know, when that happens.
You should speak to our great leaders and hear it firsthand from them. Meld with the circles, see for yourselves the great miracles to come, the joint, the union, a great day to come upon us, a union between the Great Cedar and the lady. It's excited, but it seems to be like just echoing a foreign thought, not its own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Something has been told to be excited about it and is just sharing that emotion. Rampadab is just weirded out by this whole thing. He just says that the Circle of Spores has always been about maintaining a balance and the sudden drive to grow more sprouts. This whole thing seems odd, and it wonders that, what Philo's influence might be doing to their usual way of the myconoids. So it's as bizarre to them as it is to you guys.
Doesn't seem like we'll get answers much from its denizens of the spores here.
The two of you guys who have been asking questions since time, go ahead and roll me insight checks, if you will. You're trying to gleam answers, but perhaps you're not going to get them from words, but from behavior.
These are plants.
Jesus Christ.
Never mind.
These are plants. Like what?
It's a bizarre experience, this stream Alice in Wonderland experience you're walking through.
We don't have any wisdom-based characters, do we?
Yeah.
No, I am. I just rolled like shit.
Oh, okay.
Not one. I'll just ask Irbirup
Can I
if
ask you something beforehand before I forget? Ivan, do you have Flash for Genius?
not yet. It's a level 7.
Okay.
Right.
But I was gonna ask Irbirup if there is any mushrooms here that could help us in our journey to the surface. When I say mushroom, it's literally a mushroom, not a myconid.
It notes that while its job is to grow the sproutlings here, there is another circle of growers to the north, and it sort of points its cap toward where you see that phasrus glow. The circle of grows has all sorts of foodstuff and any alchemical reagents you might need in terms of mushrooms. That's sort of their farmlands, if you will.
Okay, thank you, Irbirup. Enjoy your joy.
Oh, I will. It mentions the circle leader, if you're curious about the name. His name is Boppy.
Hey, Poppy.
Boppy.
Circle of growers. Okay.
You can even point him out with his mushroom cap. He looks like this.
Wow. You pretty.
Pretty. This place is vast, but it's still like relatively close nearby. So I mean, I guess you can be able to see him 60 feet away.
Yeah.
They have some really cool art in this module. I like this.
And not this module, man. This module is very disappointing when it comes to NPC art. Nearly none of them have any art. I have to.
You did all this then?
Well, like some computer did. It's all AI generated, but I wrote the prompts.
Oh,
That's
there you
the
go.
real work.
So
That's
I
the
get
real
all the
work,
credit.
man.
So you're not the artist, you're the author.
Okay, so unless you guys wish to use your inspiration for an insight check, I'm going to move on from the insight check altogether and just say that obviously spotting these creatures over yonder, especially you Bergerac with your keen eye, you see two what you recognize as chawls. They're like
Shrimp.
lichen covered, fungus encrusted spore servants that sort of seem to guard this path up the ledge. You notice them. There they stand. Okay.
Have we encountered them in the Underdark?
You have not been so unfortunate on the Dark Lake to encounter any chools yet, but they are not only native to Underdark, and you might have read them, you might have ate them before. They're delicious. I want red lobster so bad now. But yeah.
Cheddar biscuits.
Other things you will notice from just plain sight, because I honestly just think within 30 feet of all this, is over yonder in this sort of mushroom forest overlooked by giant mushrooms, another myconid is sort of gazing, all the while watching you as you pass. He looks like this. You just catch a sight of you. And then to the north is the inner circle. Yep.
Okay.
Talk to the inner circle.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes.
And And as we walk there, Gizmo's just going to say among his companions, maybe we should ask them if the Phasarus is new or how long that has been here. Perhaps
Probably a
they don't
product of
know
the
it's
mushrooms.
dangerous.
But we could ask anyway.
Yeah, Shusha does not know the answer, but Shusha, the fish folk who has been around the Underdark, will note that Phasarus has been around since the Underdark's creation. It is the Underdark. It is what made the Underdark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was misreading that, thinking the Phasarus was some
It
recent
reacts.
sign of the corruption.
It does react to the corruption because it is of chaos. The themes are of chaos, so they're sort of synergizing between one another. But Phasarus is more like magical radiation has been left off from the creation of the Underdark. The Underdark itself has been created by the Netherese people. This is like 1,300 years ago more when they collapsed. I think even longer than that. I don't have precise history, but I know the Phasarus has been here as long as the Underdark, and this is something that will be like known to somebody off Candlekeep, sure. But it does react to Demon Incursion. It does sort of synergize with it and empower it, from what the characters have seen so far. But anyways, as you guys are descending into the central basin area, the damp air becomes heavier, the ground softening with each step. A clean, still pool of green water dominates the center of the basin, its surface reflecting the soft glow of bioluminescent fungi scattered across the ceiling. As you take in the scene, stool pipes up, setting a ripple of report spores into the air to communicate with the party. Once, this was the heart of the Myconoid colony, it says, where the community gathered for mass meldings. We'd all share our dreams and our thoughts. I remember it was warmer then. Now they only do it when Philo says so. Stool's mental voice carries a hint of like sadness, you can tell, as if the changes in its home weighs heavily on its small form. Rumpadump, quiet as usual, steps forward nonetheless, releasing like its spores to add to the thought stream. It feels different now. They prepared for something big, something none of us really understand. A joyous day, a celebration, they call it. Stool spores pulse a little brighter. But everyone seems so excited. I don't really get why, but it makes me happy. They're happy. The conversation sort of goes on like this as you guys make your way toward the inner circle there. The central mound, once a vibrant hub of communal melding, now serves as the base of the colony's leadership. Two sovereigns, which you would be able to tell are Philo and Basidia, sovereigns of the Grove, hold court here, joined by 3 Myconid adult counselors, it looks like. Surrounding them are 10 of these towering awakened Zerkwoods, their giant fungal forms standing sentinel, their sentinel eyes watching over the proceedings with a calm yet vigilant presence. As you near the mound, one of the Myconid sovereigns speaks. With its imposing presence and multiple glowing caps, it turns to greet you. The sovereign stalks, sways rhythmically, and it emits a cloud of report spores again that envelop you in a warm, like inviting sensation. Its voice carries a genuine enthusiasm. You are safe, friends. Friendly softers. You arrive at a wonderful time. For the Neverlight Grove is on the verge of something great, something marvelous. Celebrate, as the day of joy is nigh. You are most welcome here in Neverlight Grove. Feel free to stay as long as you wish and explore the many delights our grove has to offer. We are on the cusp of something truly marvelous, and I hope you will find much joy in it as you join us. There is, however, one area I must ask you to avoid. The Eastern Plateau. The Circle of Masters is preparing a wondrous and glorious surprise in the Garden of Welcome. I assure you, it is an experience worth waiting for. If you are interested, I would be more than happy to give you a peek come next day. You hear Jimjar sort of pipe up. Yeah, keeping on the Sovereign's good side will aid us in the long run. But then the sovereign's excitement builds as it speaks of the Great Cedar, an entity living beyond the garden. She, the sovereign says, with reverent tones, is a being of great wisdom and kindness. She will be able to answer any questions you have about our grove. I assure you, her presence is a gift to all who seek her counsel. Once again, you know something curious. The sovereign use of gendered pronouns for the Great Cedar, though it's odd, considering the Myconids usually lack any concept of gender.
Yeah.
Great Cedar you talked about. She's here.
Oh, yes.
We'll be able to meet her.
Oh, it is crucial that you meet her yourselves, he insists. Words cannot capture her essence. Only by witnessing her will you understand. It has no mouth, but you can almost feel the smile.
When did you meet this Great Cedar?
It establishes a timeline stretching back what sounds like months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Philo, right?
I am, yes. It is a great pleasure to meet you, Softskin.
Oh, thank you, Rooted One. Basilia, we tell that you share the colony with another sovereign. Where may we find her? Or they?
But why she's here? And he points his hand toward another Myconid sovereign, showing height and size, but a different sort of composure. Squinty-eyed and silent, you can tell that the sovereign is uncomfortable with Philo's behavior, but has now turns its attention towards you. You're looking at Pisidia now.
We were told that you were visited by some drows a few days ago. Could you just tell us a bit about them, their names, their gender, and what they were looking for?
Basilia says, yes, there was a drow patrol that arrived here recently. They were quite curious, but left not long after their arrival. At which point Philo interjects, ah, yes, the drow were here a few days ago, but left shortly after I showed them the Garden of Welcome. They were quite impressed, I believe. And then you can sort of see that Basilia is looking a little bit puzzled.
The Garden of Welcome? Where is that located?
Just over yonder, in that area I told you guys not to go into, to the east. It points.
I was gonna say, isn't that the one that's being guarded? Yeah.
Yeah, it's being guarded.
Over yonder, I'll mark it on that for ease. It is a little misty garden. You can see that sort of it grows at the foot of what is a humongous mushroom. I'm talking like 100 stories.
Cool. We gained some entrance to it, by the way.
You are not a great listener. I will happily give you an excursion come next day.
Yeah, I understand. We're in a hurry. We don't know if we have another day.
You are safe here. There is no hurry to leave. You can stay as long as you want. I insist. You're getting a little bit of like that We Happy Few vibe.
Yes.
I'm gonna put you guys through Valaki all over again.
Oh god.
Yeah, I notice. All is well.
Alright, but what if, because we're maybe guests of honor, you have here a highborn lord from the skies? And I point to Eric. Perhaps get just a little bit of a taste, get a little bit of a feel for it. You'll feel the energy and, really, check it out, get hyped for it.
Roll me an insight check, and then you hear, as you're rolling that, you hear, Philo say, I suppose I can make an exception if you are so excited to see her. It would be a bit of a spoiler for what is to come, but if you can keep a secret, Then I trust a friend. With a 16 insight check, you can tell that Basidia, the other sovereign, is super uncomfortable with you seeing whatever is there. Mostly trying, like, you feel this. She's trying to stop you from following Philo's guidance. She wants to speak to you in private. It's an urging sort of sensation as she projects forth towards you, but is trying to keep it very much veiled because she's still sort of melded with the circle currently.
Yeah.
So you don't get a details of why, but yeah.
He's just rubbing his hands together, you know, being a little short, greedy bastard.
Yeah.
And, all right. Whoa. You know, we could keep a secret of all right, but, you know, we still got to make up camp and get a couple things and, you know, get together some stuff. You know, we just brought back that god-awful creature, and so we just want to make sure everything's all tied up with that. So we can do it here in a little bit, so...
Oh, this
Boy, thank
Greek
you
is
for
yours. A marvelous specimen. Thank you so much. You can see a few Mycon is loyal to Philo. It's spores as a community with them to lift the Greek up and like a puppet, like a snake on a whole bunch of platforms. They carry it off toward the platform through the jewels. And steadily as the conversation goes on, you can see them sort of make their way toward the Garden of Welcome and pass beyond it.
Basilia, we were told that you could help us to get some alchemical resources.
I can
for
do
the
that.
Circle of Growers. Can you walk us there while you tell us what you can do for us?
Of course.
All right, we like to see the garden. Nice little show. For the Lord.
We can get to the garden promptly. But first, I would show you around where you can stay. Please. It says, almost pleading.
Let's do that first then.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired. I think I pulled a hamstring. Not that you would know what that is, but... Also, back on the topic of these drow, what they look like. Names. If distinguishing features.
I believe one was like the lady, not matching in beauty, but of close resemblance, like a rippled reflection in the pools. Female, from what you gather. The others were different. They had a short tour of our place, saw the marvels that are to be beheld in the garden, but were quick to leave. Yep.
Oh.
Alright,
Again,
Moon Elves. This
so-
sounded familiar.
Whether or not a woman and two male drow sound familiar to them, sure. Like,
Well, I mean, I'm trying to ask, like,
yeah.
what was their hair? Does anyone, like, the drow that's been chasing, you know, the party and everything?
Philo seems to be
does
adamant
anything match?
keeping details from you. You can tell this much.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. He seems to like treat them like they didn't really matter. They came, they visited the garden, and they left. And whenever he mentions that they left, Basidia seems like visually confused, as if like they left.
Okay.
To Alara, I mean, they're seem to believe that the drow left and are gone, but they're not catching. There are no names, nothing for them to recognize them by. Any drow is an enemy of theirs, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if they're not giving information, that's fair.
Philo's withholding information, it seems.
All right. Well, we're gonna be making camp here, but we want to get all this errands out of the way. You know, Basidia, if you would be so kind to show the Lord and, you know, get some things going here, love it.
Yeah. Basidia gestures for you to follow her, urging for a moment to reach throughout the party, noting the presence of the two Sprouse, Stool and Rumpadump. And with a gentle but serious demeanor, you can feel her like initiate a telepathic connection. I have observed your interactions and sense the tension that lies beneath the surface of our grove's harmony. Please, come with me.
We follow.
It dismisses itself from the circle, which Philo doesn't seem to mind much, and waits by the waters. And it's a place as far away from any other Myconid you can tell. And in a quiet moment away from the hustle of the grove, Basilia draws the party closer, its tone shifting to one of urgent concern. I must confide in you. I advised against staying in Neverlight Grove for too long. Another group of softwares arrived here not long, those you speak of, accepting Philo's invitation to visit the Garden of Welcome. Since then, I have not seen them, nor has Philo made any mention of their fate. I've observed troubling behavior from the Circle of Masters. They have been taking most of the carcasses brought in by the Circle of Hunters. Even more disconcerting is that they are sending Myconoids outside of the grove without informing anyone of their whereabouts or purpose. And there's more. I have also sensed something unusual about an infection affecting some of your companions. Her gaze turns toward Alara and Ranis. Carried within their bodies. Although I cannot identify the spores directly, the corruption feels unlike any I have encountered before. This is particularly alarming since most sovereigns, including myself, recognize all spores produced by Myconoids across the Dundark. Please, be cautious, be vigilant. The safety of Neverlight Grove and its inhabitants is at stake, and I fear that darker forces are at work here. Your help could make all the difference.
So what are you proposing? What can we help with exactly?
I am grateful for your assistance and would like to offer you a more detailed tour of Neverlight Grove. This will allow you to meet the leaders of each circle and understand their support for either sovereign, Philo, or myself. As we walk, I must share with you my grave concern, for I fear that the sovereign Philo himself has contacted some form of disease spore. I have detected an unusual corruption that I have never encountered before. I believe that investigating the Garden of Welcome might reveal more about this affliction. I am wary of exploring the garden myself, as I fear falling victim to whatever plague has befallen Philo. Thus, I must ask for your help. If you investigate the Garden of Welcome, it would be a great service to Neverlight Grove and to me. She presents a moldy scroll in a case. As a token of my gratitude, please accept this. It's a scroll to protect you against fiends. It may prove useful in your travels. If you undertake this task on my behalf, I will reward you further. I can also brew potions from the various molds and fungi of the grove above me. What say you?
It sounds like that scroll would come in quite handy, given everything we've seen so far. And we were hoping to get supplies and potions, so I think this bears investigating.
Yes, we will do that.
You said that you suspect Philo has been corrupted, and that you also sense some corruption from our elves. But this corruption doesn't feel the same to you.
Does feel familiar. It's not off the Neverlight Grove.
Okay.
The same corruption
This
that corrupts
one's
Philo
getting
does
anxious
corrupt your elf companions, if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be a shame that something bad happened to those guys.
You
It'll
guys
be
are
fine.
a foul company to keep around for morale. They're right there.
I was going to say the hair's raising on the back of Gizmo's neck as the elves stack up behind him. Hmm.
Aranis just looks thoughtful at his hands, at himself, but I feel just fine.
Did you take a wrong turn somewhere, or did your captors giving you any concoctions, stuff of the works?
Once we escaped,
Branding?
once we skipped our captors and fled to the Unduck, we crossed paths with a small clan, a troop of Myconoids, who have given us sanctuary for a day or two. They spoke to us of something they called the Lady's Gift. We took all the chances we could take. It is how we traversed so far from Enzo Baranzan, by way of the Lady's Dream, their gift to us. I've not been exhibiting any change of thought, no demonic nightmare, nothing to prove manifestation of what you speak of, and now you speak of our doom.
Perhaps the sovereign here would have a potion or something that could be a cure for this infestation.
It can try its
Or at least
best.
a suppressant.
Yeah. But let's try to check what is in this place.
The city just says that instead of risking time spent here in the Grove to try and find a cure, it intends to take its circle and any circle that would follow and leave Neverlight forever. The best way to deal with infection is to get straight away from it.
We're making our way to Blindenstone. Would you like to travel together? Going in that direction?
They have no place there, but they will find their way elsewhere. But should you need aid on your journey, and should you aid them in return, Basides will consider giving you any who would follow. Be they guides, or more adventurous Myconoids from the Circle of Explorers, for example. She points the Circle of Explorers out to you guys, which would be the orange area just south of the map. More adventurous scout Myconoids that explore down the dark and tend to explore beyond the reaches of what the average Myconoid, where the average Myconoid goes.
Surely something can be done about this great cedar. How much can you tell us about them?
The great cedar, she just told you that she doesn't know much beyond answers lying beyond the Garden of Welcome, to which she and any Myconid who is not taking in Philo's spores, his philosophies, his new ideas, is not melded with Philo, they're not allowed past the Garden of Welcome to see what this grand celebration is to be. So investigating beyond there might provide some answers.
Oh.
How many loyal followers does Philo have in his control right now?
I can tell you outright, or we can do a tour. But in short, from what Basidia noticed, is that the Circle of Explorers has remained loyal to her, the Circle of Hunters has remained loyal to her, while the Circle of Growers and the Circle of Builders has manifested strange behavior, infected with these spores of Philo.
Alright, so 50-50.
So we should try to sneak in. Any suggestions?
As well as the Circle of Spores is manifesting strange behavior, which you have witnessed.
No. Well, my question is too. Philo before he was very wisdomatic and
That's a word.
much. Sure. I'm learning. And before his change, anything else seem off? Did another flesh bag come in and, say any words, or anyone give you the heebie-jeebies?
Establishing a timeline, Basidia's circle and those loyal to her have come to this Neverlight Grove years ago and joined with Philo. Back then, the Union was a healthy one and Neverlight thrived. It is not until he started having these ideas about the Great Seed and growing the Garden of Welcome, which started happening like months ago. Very recently compared to the history of Neverlight Grove.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, Basidia. But Basidia could get a little dirty. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. But what if Philo there was to, he makes like the, the cutthroat measure.
Then she and her circle, I keep calling her she because it gave her a feminine voice.
Yeah.
Basidia and those logs will just leave Neverlight. They don't intend to make a war of this. That's not what Myconids are about. They can defend themselves and all that, but they're not about inner fighting. This is not their ways. They would rather just leave, maintain harmony, and establish a colony elsewhere. If
all right,
push comes to shove and you must kill him, then, the thought truly saddens Basidia.
Oh, no,
but
I'm just
she won't, kill you for killing him, so to speak.
Yeah. Just collateral damage,
Mm-hmm.
If you're leaving, then I understand. But if you're not going to be in this place, well then.
That all being said, she doesn't have
a couple of gestures.
Basidia doesn't have any answers yet, right? So.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find the answers in the Garden of Welcome.
Do you want to talk to the other leaders?
They are supporting Philos, so I assume they won't give much information. Similar to Irbut in the Circle of Sports, he didn't say much. He was just too happy.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all echoing the same thing. I just didn't know if there might be anything else to glean from them.
I do think before we go into a place where we're not welcome and we may have to defend ourselves, we need to decide whether our elf friends are going to come with us, whether they are a potential threat or not to us.
We can just leave, says Alara.
Yeah, I was saying that. Like, these guys are like, why do they speak like if we are not here?
I thought we could be armed and fight by your side, fight toward the surface, work toward hope. But if we are unwanted, we'll just depart and take our chances.
No, it's not that. It's just, it's a little bit worrying what they say. But you're right. You have been helpful in the journey. You have done nothing wrong. We can travel together.
It's just about being a liability. I don't want to be into something and then something happens to you, your mind gets all fucked up, and then you stab me in the back. That's what I don't want. What'd you say?
Called them a liability, they're leaving.
Wait.
Alara is the fiery of the two. Aranis is still trying to make ends and ends, you guys are talking of a cure for infection. This is all news to him, while Alara is a little bit more like action first, thoughts later. Like, if you think that she's a liability, she has no reason to stay.
Wait. You can give him some peace if you help us to get to the Garden of Welcome. Like, you have a way through the gift of the lady of moving around.
I mean, Aranis and I can scout ahead, sure.
Alara, Aranis, don't go. You'll be safer if you stick with us. We'll get to the surface eventually. Dwaker, all of them are rude. Don't take what he says personally.
Perhaps there is a middle ground here. Perhaps our elf friends can assist us by distracting the creatures that guard the path, allowing us to gain entrance.
Wild idea.
Right there. That's using your brain.
Wild idea,
See?
says Uranus. We fight together as one, as a unit, and we survive this affair. When it's all over and done with, when we close the surface, we part ways and stop being a liability.
Aye, you want to take it to heart, mate. You fucking elves are so sensitive. Alright, you want to go in and fight? We go in and fight then.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. Just be careful.
We're fine. We feel fine. This is a gift, an enhancement to ourselves, given by these nice creatures who have been nothing but welcoming to us. You're being irrational, she says.
Well, let's try to make our way there. Maybe we can avoid fighting somehow.
Okay, so you guys forgo rest and just into the garden of welcome?
I would suggest.
We have taken a short rest while we were talking and stuff.
You can take a short rest.
I was going to ask how people were feeling health-wise.
I'm too healthy for my own good.
I'll change that.
Nah, I bet.
Timber.
No!
Leroy Jenkins.
You were like, wow, the art for this module is beautiful. You know what art I had for Awakened Zerkwood? It was just like tree.
It was like a bonsai looking.
A bonsai tree, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
like,
I saw
what
that and I was
is
like,
this?
this shit's weak.
That's what I work with, guys, but that's just our module. It's so much
Yeah.
work from the end to make it cool.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun with it. Jim Jar approaches Bazarak. Is it Bazarak? It keeps using Z because Z and H make that sound. Is it Bazarak or Bazarak?
I have it as Bazarok.
Hey, Baz.
Yeah, you call him Baz.
20 gold pieces. That our Uranus tier dies first.
No one's gonna die. Jimbo.
Come on, Baz.
Hey, he's stroking his like. He's stroking his like.
You
his
stroke your what?
mustache.
Okay.
His mustache. He strokes his mustache and he kind of like furrows one of his lips and he catches like the gleam of his golden tooth.
All right, fine. You pick. Which one of them dies first? 20 gold pieces? 25. I'll make it 25. And I'll throw in the
If I
canister from
lose
Guardian's
anything,
Tour.
you're basically taking from everybody else. I don't have my own. I only have 15.
Oh no,
gold
this is my own goal.
pieces.
I made this.
Yeah, but if I lose, I'm taking from the parties.
And?
Because I put all my money in there.
Okay.
Alright, fine. Alright. 20 gold pieces. The she-elf goes. She's got a fire in her heart.
You're
But I
on.
think she's a little ignorant.
Cool. It's a cold handshake.
Alright. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's rest first for a little bit.
Yes, my lord. Take a quick nap.
Short rest then?
Yeah. Do you guys want to keep going with session at this point?
I would say this
will.
would be a good
Like-
leaving point. Because that way Bo would be able to experience what's about to come in once we update him and everything.
Yeah,
Your call.
agree.
Bo's gonna be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is going on? But yeah, I would say this is a good leave-off point.
Same.
During this short rest, then I'm gonna allow during our P chat if people are curious to see what the rest of this grove has to offer before you cross some point of no return. If there is a point of no return, if you want to explore the circle of growers, builders, just interact with NPCs because it's funny. Who knows? Maybe you'll learn something new. We can do that over RP chat. I'm fine with that. You won't progress the story. You'll just get to explore. essentially. You might progress a little bit of story, but it's something like earth-shattering.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, maybe talk to party and Shusha, you're coming with us.
Oh yeah. I say he can't fight, but I did give him like clerical spells because you guys did kill his village's mad priest. Or now, well, you killed one mad priestess, and then the actual priest died, and he was like, "Oh, cool, scepter." So I gave him like clerical spells support, but nothing amazing. Just so he's not useless. Cool. Any questions about session? Anything confusing? Clarifying your notes.
No, but I'm curious. Oh, I wanted to ask. Would fashioning like a mask of sort to put? You know, I could just do it. I have.
Can you finish your thoughts on what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm just because of like spores and everything, the owls being infected. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to breathe stuff in, and then it's like, haha, mind control, gotcha. I'd be like, oh fuck, dude. So I'm gonna put like a mask on or something.
Sounds good. You can do that, but just so you know, and I'll clarify this because I guess you, Nick, were not there, but the party was. This gift is like a consenting one. It's not like, oh, you failed a Constitution saving throw and like now you're like diseased. This is something that like they hung out. They found another Neverlight Grove, just different one, and they got his gifts from the mechanoids there. It sounds like a poison they inhaled, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, but you do. That can also help too.
I also just want to do it because he looks like a little bandito
Yeah.
when he puts the thing on. It's like, all right, well, if we're gonna get our hands dirty here,
Yeah.
bandito.
Right.
I think that's about all I have.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I will ask, to get to the circle, to the Garden of Welcome, we have to pass through these guys. Or at least that's like the direct route.
From what you can
Or
see,
the
there's a
route.
direct route to direct slope here, but like from the very useful, in my opinion, scouts of the party who have a use and are not a burden, they've been able to go all the way up these cliffs using their mushroom step, and there's like a way around here as well. There's a way around here as well. It's just that it is a guarded place by these creatures and whoever they're loyal to. So, you know, act on information you know. But like at this point, you can just be like, "Hey, Philo, yeah, we want to see the Garden of Welcome. We just can't wait until tomorrow." And I'll be like, "Okay, fine," you know.
Yeah, but we want to do it on secret. Okay, so through the circle or explorers, we can make it. Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds dope.
And you sent in chat the first part of Basidia's speech to us? What she first said? You sent in chat her thanks after we agreed to help.
You mean this?
No, that was after. That was after we agreed to.
So what information are you looking for, my friend? If we're at the table, what information are you looking for? I have 5 times more than what I've posted in chat written on my notes, so I need to know sort of where we're at. What are you looking for? Something you're not clear on? A gap in your story? Okay. Oh yeah, you guys still have your spider mounts, by the way. While they are good traveling means of like fast travel. You guys are just gonna keep them out of combat. Did my disc? Oh, okay. I see my. My entire internet went down.